Peace, 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 peace. Peace, love, and light to all the American Aborigines. This your brother Aboriginal Power. Hope everybody's having a blissful grand rising. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Um, I just want to say peace, love, and light to all the American Aborigines. First things first, hit the like button. Get yourself together. Get your coffee, get your tea. We're starting this thing off right. Let's go. Infamous Trey Ali.
I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said gotta never die, never left us. Even though they took you home, you still behind you like a catcher. Life is like a doctor, everybody want their checkup. Money, money, he been preaching, charge for a confession. See, ain't nobody focused on the bullshit that they told us. Always trying to pin you sick when ain't nobody came before us. We the best part of waking up before the Folgers. That's why they want your backs against the wall like a poster. Indoctrination being sold as education. Most of history they taught you came from some imagination. Roots was never true, fuck the whole compilation. Fuck Walter Plecker, fuck Alex Haley. America is Egypt, Israel, Queen Khalifa. Babylon used to devil by him while I check my fever. Niggas think I'm lying cause they sleeping. But bitch, I ain't no fool shopping my tools every season. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. Guess I gotta start bad rapper, tell these niggas how it happened. Control is a goal, now you space like William Shatner. Technology's economy has overthrown your balance. Now your headaches come from waves, microcells up in your atmosphere. Fears how they take you, they spank you for being active and questioning all the records that's made to prevent disasters. Clearing out the Turkish stream of talking to the past. I got the old line tied and it's surviving for the masses. They never loved our classics, but bite off our originals. Reclassify your favorite rhymes the way they did the Seminoles. I'm so black, proud that my inside's purple. If the world had never died, they probably never alert you. You need to venture out and stop sticking the circle. Strict numbers react different to curfews. The moving not perfume, the streets ain't gold. Our summer so cold, we left the fall on froze. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us. I said paper on paper on paper. Ain't no genocide, we was killed on paper. Buried us alive in the proudest of the paper. They know what who we are, swear they hate us cause they hate us.
Peace to all the American Aborigines out there. Hope y'all feeling good. Get yourself up. We're gonna start this thing off with a nice little fire jammy jam. Y'all know how we doing it.
This a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape for the lost generation. This a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save us. You will do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape for the lost generation. Where everything fun and games, we drink and we smoke just to numb the pain. We scream for the cops when a brother gets shot, then we march for our money, don't nothing change. Damn, I'm tired of these fucking games, shit. We gotta do something, man. They label us black, our history snatched. We don't even know where the fuck we came from. They gave you another name, washed it and gave you another brain. We used to be scholars till they gave us dollars. You gotta realize it's a fucking game, so make sure you play it right. When you give it your all, you sleep when you lay at night. I am a ray of light. That's an affirmation, something that you can say or write. I hope this work get exposed. I swear this cycle's getting old. How we giving all our children shit we couldn't deal with it. Shit from further from their souls. This world is so cold. Thinking myself like, damn, sometimes I don't wanna have faith. Like, damn, what they gon' have faith in? I guess all I can say is, damn, this a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You'll do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. For the lost generation, it's a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You'll do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. With a lost generation, where youngins be selling us dope and politicians sell us hope. We never noticed all the power we got in our hands. They trick us and tell us to vote. Why should I care about July 4th? That want what my people die for was given religion and put up in a wicked system. But this shit won't our choice, so just find yours. There's different meanings of freedom, you need to define yours. Republican, Democrat, I don't get into that. They gotta give us back our voice. Cause how can the president speak for me? Or clean up the streets and find peace for me? They can't part the Red Sea for me. If I thought that, then I ain't even free. I'm just trying to tell them. And hey, they dealing us as deadly. Let's come together for protection. They use their air, food, and water as weapons for harming my essence. It's time that we check it. I need my people to help me. The time is now. We need plans. But we ain't got no hope, so we apply, go vote and say, I don't know, just keep praying. It's a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You'll do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. With a lost generation, it's a lost generation. We starving for greatness. We hardly can make it, and truth is a pill that we hardly can take. Look at our generation, walking lost in this matrix, praying God come and save them. You'll do it for yourself if you really want to help, otherwise it'd be hard to escape. With a lost generation.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Show some support, man. Hit the like button. Share this on all your social media outlets. Peace and love to all the American Aborigines. We're going to get into this next one, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. We got 33 people in here, and we only got 20-something likes. Let's get these likes up. I got a fire bill for you guys this one. Let's get these likes up. Let's get straight into it now.
Rhyme so dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. God's children, give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of angels, fresh up out the oven. It's the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the court. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. You wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the source. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get paid and praised by the dollar long as they keeping us stagnant. And niggas think they woke, huh? Like you could change a whole world through a vote, huh? Like slave masters willing to let their slave go, huh? That slave master was probably your kinfolk, huh? History in reverse, a black king strategy. When blacks were your majesty, they always hide your pyramids but point to where the castles be. Aristocracies with your last name patent accurately. Yeah, and I ain't even tell half the shit. Like, I ain't even tell a quarter of the shit. I'm just getting started. Y'all niggas rap about busting guns and all this weird shit. I'm trying to get my people back, nigga.
Shout out to everybody out there in the chat, man. Hope everybody's having a blissful grand rising. We got 46 of the cousins off in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Please make sure y'all hit this like button. We're about to turn up, get straight into this audio. I just want to see some fire emojis in the chat. Drop some fire emojis in the chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear. We're going to get straight into the audio that I got lined up for you guys this morning. Just let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. So drop some fire emojis. I don't see no fire emojis. I don't see no fire emojis. Since I ain't got no fire emojis.
Y'all bitch ass up out of bed, nigga, and get to cleaning up something today. You bitch ass nigga, the snow done went away. Get out and do something today, nigga. Ass up out of bed, nigga, and get to cleaning up something today. You bitch ass nigga, the snow done went away. Get out and do something today, nigga. If you ain't gonna do nothing, at least spend some time with your kids, nigga. Clean up the front yard, nigga. I know you bitch ass, have you nigga made some money today? I'm on my way to go get some money, nigga. Have you bitch ass nigga made some money today? Or you too busy got your bitch ass on this social media shit? Nigga, I'm getting paid to be on here, nigga.
All right, I see a few fire emojis. I see y'all lit it back up in here. So since we got the fire emojis, we got 61 of the cousins off in here. I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat before I get into this audio. Tyke Sam, Craig Lloyd, Chick Homely Roots, Kyle Flinch, Matrix Glitch, Omega, what up, cuzzo? Moonfee, Craig Lloyd, Miss Lita, Chick Homely Roots, Darius Matthews, Dion Williams, what up, cuz? The original Copper Empress Hober, Mike Pinterest, I ain't seen you in here in a minute, brother. Good to see you, cousin. Kiwanis, the Aborigine, what up, cuzzo? The Younger Family, what up, cousins? Lyrica Neville, shout out to my cousins, all the Nevilles, that's my cousin. Miss Lita, what up? What up, cousin? Brendan Rogers, Rising Aboriginals, Bronze Flat Power God, what up, cuz? Mike, what up, cuz? Running Back Gangs, Immortal, Amaruan, what up, cuz? Hope you and the family, everybody, I hope everybody out there good. You and your families. Tanya Lloyd, Tino Lolo, what up, cuz? Tino Lolo up in the building, what up, though? Yeah. Dawood, Child Alpha, what up, cousins? Raven Hawk, what up, cuz? Chief Crazy Overstanding, okay. 504 in the building, you hear me? 504 Indigenous Warrior in here, you hear me? I know y'all heard me. Let's get straight into this audio, man. Come with the video.
That we agreed on a need for a specific type of unity amongst our people so that we can thrive. We agree on the fact that family, well, I can't even say that. Take that back. We might not agree on that because y'all don't have a value system. All right, so let me back up a little bit. You need a value system in order to have unity. You need a value system. If you do not have a value system, you cannot have unity. My proposal to the Aboriginal community is twofold. To use our provisional constitution in ARNA and to use the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People,
The UNDRIP or the
which
ADRIP?
we have and use a version of that with the indigenous political authority. That gives us a value system, a socio-political value system, and in honor, a cultural value system. You are not going to move without those things. Because when you start dealing with your freedom, you have it on 4 basic levels. You have your own individual freedom as an entity. And it's not political sovereignty that you can accomplish as an individual, but you have the right to have your own mental freedom. That's important.
I want to make sure everybody can hear me out there loud and clear. Drop some fire emojis out there in the chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear.
Because that is what gives you the ability to not allow anyone to enslave you. No teacher, no master teachers, no ideology, none of that. You become a thinker. But in order to do that, you have to have cultural freedom. Cultural freedom is when you know your ancestry, and that ancestry has developed a system of education in order for you to be free. So for people who went through genocide and had their identity taken, where is their cultural freedom? They have to reconstruct it. So that's what we've been working on, right? Reconstructing our cultural freedom. And we're having problems with that, because now we're dealing with how do we reconstruct history properly? And most of the rare books and materials have been in the hands of other peoples longer than they have been in our hands. So we are borrowing reconstructed histories. I have an answer to that, and I started this in my last video, but I'm going to jump through this, all right? Next, we have our economic freedom. And economics here means the proper utility of resources, peoples, things in your environment, etc. You need your own economic freedom. You cannot have your economic freedom without the last form of freedom, which is your nationality and body politic. With those 4, you can accomplish a lot. And they actually work in reverse order. And they all tied together. It all tied together. And the problem that we're having is not knowing how they tie. So let's just jump straight into this. Listen, Pan-Africans, you have to study. You are not studying. Let me show you what types of information you need to study. The people who enslaved your ancestors know who you are. They are not laughing at Ali when he comes and says, "We've been here." They're not laughing, right? I'm going to show you how they're not laughing. All right, give me a moment. I'm going to show you. They're not laughing at us. They know very well what we're talking about. So let's start off here. If you are saying that our bloodline was not here, you're going to have to explain everything that I'm about to say with logic and reason, and you cannot without showing, or you cannot without agreeing that our lineage of people were here.
Sorry about that. Something hit the wrong button. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. This is a fire build. Give me just a second. I'm gonna take a quick 30-second break. Let me fix the audio. My audio is acting crazy over here. Give me 2 seconds. Let me get a mic check. Let me get a mic check. Make sure we good. Let me make sure we good. The audio is acting crazy over here. Hope everybody's having a blissful grand rising. We got 97 family members off in the chat today. I appreciate that. I wish we can get these likes up to 97 right now while we taking a quick intermission. As a matter of fact, we're going to take a quick 30-second break, and y'all can hit the like button real quick. Hit the like button. All right, we back. I appreciate it if we can get some fire emojis in the chat before I move forward with the audio. I want to make sure everything is crispy clear for you guys, so I ain't got to keep stopping and interrupting because I don't want to stop too much of this early on because I want y'all to be able to hear what's going on within the conversation. So let's get straight to it.
We're here. Now, inside of the African American population, the problem is we have a varying.
And so that also says that if someone is not teaching us the science of mating, then we have a major problem. If someone is not teaching us the science of mating, we have a major problem. And that tells us not only what happened in the past, it tells us what needs to happen in the future in order to preserve our lineage or improve our lineage. I learned a lot of this from studying plants. You can improve the lineages of plants that have had their lineages weakened by environmental circumstances. And those lineages could be old lineages that have been exposed to something in the environment or people doing things in their environment that injure those plants. And so now you have to go back to those plants, study what is their indigenous environment, where do they thrive, how do they thrive, and then group them together, right, in domestication so that you can put them back into circulation so they can be strong again, right? That is a whole science. There's the science of mating plants. And the science of mating amongst people is very, 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 very similar. It's very, very, very similar. And if you want to accomplish that, if you want to make progress with that, then in order for you to make progress with that, you must know the science. If you do not know the science, then you will not know how to accomplish that and how to do it successfully. All right? So what I'm saying is take a look at what I'm about to show you, and then we can make progress on these points of division, because points of division are points of your ignorance. It has nothing to do with anything but your ignorance. All right, so let's just check this out. Let's check this out. Let's look at it. So you won't argue with me. The first thing I'm going to is the Lewis and Clark expedition. There's two aspects to this that are important. Oh, I thought you needed me. All right, so there are two aspects to this that are important. The first one is I'm going to read directly from a primary source. Let's see, what am I using? Okay, here it is. All right, this is, all right, if you know about the Lewis and Clark expedition, this was an expedition post the sale of Louisiana to the United States government by Napoleon after he got his ass kicked in Haiti. All right. After that, he sold to the United States the barracks of the city of New Orleans. But what we call Louisiana today was about 14 states, included the central part of the area of the continental United States of America. All right. And so that geography needs to be understood because there are two things that are here. The first one is who was in that area, which is answered in another letter. In this letter, we look at what were Lewis and Clark doing in that area? They were collecting plant samples and doing anthropological studies on the people who were in the area. And in doing so, they made a distinction between the Eurasians, who they were referring to as red men, the white men who were a part of the colonies that had become republics, and lastly, other groups of people who were not white men or red men. All right? For the sake of the term that we use today, these are black people, specifically the large populations of Choctaw that were in this area. I learned about this primary source from Empress Verdiasi as the head of the Washita. She was using the Lewis and Clark expedition to prove when they went on their anthropological and military expedition, who did they see? But a unique thing happened in this report on page 2. So we see the source, Meriwether Lewis's report to Thomas Jefferson, April 7th, 1805. I want you to read page 2 because page 2 says something very interesting. Here it goes. All right. So Lewis is just talking about what they're doing. All right. And then he goes on to say, by reference to, I'm going to show you the actual letter, the muster rolls forwarded to the War Department, you will see the state of the party. In addition to which, we have 2 interpreters. 2 what? Interpreters. 1 Negro man, servant to Captain Clark, and 1 Indian woman, wife to one of the interpreters, and a Mandan man who we take with a view to restore the peace between the Snake Indians. All right. So ask yourself a question. Here we have the fat word interpreter. What is a Negro doing who is a servant of Captain Clark going on the expedition labeled by in this first-hand account of Clark and Lewis and Clark, as one of the interpreters with an Indian woman? Who and what was he interpreting? And what language were the people speaking? All right. And so what we need to understand, really simply, let me go to the actual letter so you won't say, oh, well, he's not showing the actual letter. Let's make this bigger. I don't know if we can. Let's see. Can we make that bigger? All right. All right. So this is the actual letter to which we have 2 interpreters, interpreters. 1 Negro man, servant to Captain Clark, 1 Indian woman. And so what I'm saying to you, I'm not even going to go into all of this because this is one of our canons. For those of you who are engaged in Aboriginal studies in the United States of America, and you have the perspective that our ancestors were already here, that they weren't brought over here as a result of the transatlantic slave trade, you need to go through all of the letters that Thomas Jefferson, Clark, Lewis wrote to each other in respect to that particular expedition, because it unloads completely a full Aboriginal clip to show what was happening on the land. All right, that's super, 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 super important. All right, that's super, super, super important. All right. Next, I have been told or constantly, critiqued for saying that there were slaves taken from here back to Spain, back to Portugal, back to England, back to Africa. All right. And so one of the things that I want to do is go ahead and use firsthand resources again. This firsthand resource is one of the earliest resources, and it shows, well, y'all use two letters. It shows two things.
I want to get a mic check. Make sure y'all support the channel. Hit the like button. Share this on all your social media outlets. Please, the 122 that's viewing this right now, I would appreciate if y'all could drop fire emojis in the chat or some ones in the chat to let me know if the audio is still clear. I'm going to continue this video. Peace, love, and light to everybody that's tuning in. If you're new to this YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And don't forget to hit the like button.
All right. It shows, yes, there were Aboriginals being taken from here by people back to Spain. And it wasn't 5, it wasn't 10, it wasn't 20, it wasn't 30, it was thousands. All right. And those thousands are in records. We are not making up anything. This is exactly what it was. This is a letter from Michel da Cuneo, an Italian adventurer and friend of Christopher Columbus. Cuneo accompanied Columbus on his second voyage across the Atlantic in 1493. The following is part of a letter he wrote after he returned to Italy in 1495. All right. So he talks about, them being on the island and them circling Jamaica and what's now Haiti and Dominican Republic, Hispaniola, right? Talks about how many men they had. He talked about them being hungry and not having food. They had to wait. But look at what he says right here. When our caravels were ready to depart for Spain, aboard which I intended to return home, we gathered at our settlement 1,600 Indians, male and female. We loaded 650 of the best, both men and women, aboard those caravels on the 17th of February, 1495. All right. And so he just keeps on going and talking about leaving children and all of what they're doing. But my point to you is that this is first-hand research. I did not read from a book. I read directly from the letter. This is one trip where they're capturing thousands. And this is one of the early ones. The Spanish conquistadors have not even started coming at this particular point yet to continue that trade. All right. So we've been telling you this. We use the Jesuit letters. We use the Columbus letters. We go to Lewis and Clark. Each time we do that, guess what? Guess what's said about us afterwards? Guess what's said about us afterwards? What's said about us is you are not using primary sources. You are not using primary sources. And my response to that is, do you know what a primary source is? All right? Do you know what a primary source is? I don't think that you do know what a primary source is. All right? And a primary source is the original document, all right, that's used in order to communicate something in history. It's the actual document, in the sense that it is either a reproduction of that document and has the exact same language, or it's the actual first document that's not a copy. All right? All right? All right. And so that point needs to, I'm going to deal with each small point, because we have been accused of not using primary records to show a slave trade that started in reverse. In my last lecture, I covered that from my material, and now I'm going further to prove the point. If you disagree with me, then what you're saying is that letter is fake. All right? Oh man. All right. All right. So we got that down. We don't have to keep going over that, right? Let's go on to our next issue, which I think is really, really, really important. Open this up. Yeah, we are lost. Now, I'm not saying that the word Indians is an accurate term to be used. And I'm going to prove it to you that that term is not an accurate term, right? I'm going to use the law, because we said we're going to talk about socio-political and lawful and legal science in here. We're going to bring some of our jurist information here to help you out. I'm going to show you why I don't use the term Indian. All right? It's pretty simple. I'm going to show you why I don't use the term Indian, and give you a legal, because what's happening here is you can decide to dismiss what I say because you are steeped in ignorance in law, international law, human rights law, etc. All right. So let me give you the definition of this, so you can stop using certain terminologies that don't apply to us. All right. And I'm going to give you a legal conversation so that you can move yourself away with the sources, so you can move yourself away from making these errors. All right. So, and this is for anybody who's using the term Indian, or anybody who is saying from a Pan-African standpoint that we are saying we're Indians. All right. Check this out. This is from our jurist textbook. This is our textbook for our law class. All right. And this is Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, page 912. Indians. What is the definition? The Aboriginal inhabitants of North America. And this is the case law, Frazee versus Spokane County, 29, Washington. This is Washington State, 278. All right, you got it. The next is a body of law that is really important for legal studies and lawful studies, and that is Corpus Juris Secundum. All right, this is volume 42 of Corpus Juris Secundum. All right, and it says Indians. It is said, quote, Indians is what? The name given by the European discoverers of America to its what? Aboriginal inhabitants. When used in a statute without any other limitation, the term has been said to include members of the Aboriginal race, whether now sustaining tribal relations or otherwise. That is important because none of us are required to be under the Bureau of Indian Affairs in order to operate within our capacity as Aboriginals. We don't have to sustain tribal relations with the Bureau of Indian Affairs to be who we are. That's the point. Now, my next contention, well, I'll leave that. Let's keep going. Let me show you how we get entrapped. All right? Same law dictionary, Black's Law Dictionary. Fiction of law. All right? I need you to pay attention really, really closely. All right? Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I do a Q&A. All right? So check it out. Fiction of law. Something known to be false is assumed to be true. Something known to be false is assumed to be true. All right? What is known? Who knows it to be false? That is the question. If somebody knows it to be false, but somebody is assuming something to be true, it stands as a fiction of law. All right? So I'll give you an example. African Americans think that they are citizens of the United States of America. That's what they believe. All right? In the Constitution, there is written in the original 7 articles a term called natural born citizens. African Americans are not natural born citizens of the United States of America. They are second class amended United States citizens and residents. What does that mean? That means that you think that you now have equality, but without a legal conversation, you don't. To explain how you gained certain privileges. All right, it's called selective incorporation. And the Supreme Court had to come and give you certain rights because you were being discriminated against because you were not natural born citizens. All right? So fictitious means founded on a fiction, having the character of a fiction, pretended, counterfeit, feigned, imaginary, not real, false, not genuine, non-existent. So let me ask you a question. And this is not a shot on anyone's religion, but I want you to pay attention to words. You see this word? Fiction. Like a novel. What if I put a cruci in front of it? Crucifixion. Like the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. All right? What is that telling you? That's telling you that you are under Dumb's Diversa. All right? And we covered this a little bit last week. The doctrine of discovery said that they were going to take you out of your indigenous faiths and put you under perpetual servitude and force you into Christianity. This is before it happened. All right? And so we need to understand those 4 things that I just mentioned. Culture, The problem with our people is they have no value system or culture. And so you could claim Indian, you could claim Aboriginal, you can claim Pan-African, you have no culture. All right? So that is something that you need to understand. All right? So let's come off of that. I think y'all got that point, right? I don't gotta belabor that point. If you don't understand the point, let me make it a little bit further. Here we go. This is 1868. This is over 70 years after the Constitution is already, all right, already here. What did it say? That the naturalization laws are hereby extended to aliens of African nativity and to persons of African descent. That's July 14th, 1870. The country had already been operating. And so what you need to understand is this. What I'm trying to explain to you is this. I'm going to really help you understand these 4 points I made about mental freedom, cultural freedom, economic freedom, and nationality and political freedom. You need to understand this. If white males were the only citizens, their wives were considered their property, and they had over almost 100-year head start on you to run in a race, and now we look at them and they own almost everything as far as wealth is concerned, and still have you in a position of bondage to their wealth. That means the country was built for white men. Period. Now, what they did is something real slick. They committed genocide on you to make you think you're something that you're not. And they are really, really shrewd. And by doing so, if you don't start your own body politic, like they did, for your own thriving and self-preservation, like they did, you are going to stay behind forever. Period. You are going to stay behind forever. And so that is the issue. An artificial citizen, second-class citizen, a beggar, can never compete. And you are in competition because there is a war, both covert and overt, that is being carried out against you. All right? And so what I'm saying to you is we're talking about the Aboriginal paradigm, not just to argue back and forth with Afrocentrics on whether we are here or not. That's not even an argument. You can't have that argument. You cannot have that argument. It's impossible. We'll blow you out of the water with that one. But the argument that we are having is the socio-political and economic future of our people. All right? That is important. And so if we are not going to man up and understand what has happened to us, all right, then we will have a perpetual problem. So now, let me do this, because this is important. Let me end this issue that we have developed where we think everybody is for us, right? That's what we think. You think everybody is for us. I mean, I don't want that to happen. See if this is working. Oh, yeah, it is. All right, dope. All right, so I want to share something with you. This is from my protocol manual, but we can share it. It doesn't matter where it was. All right. I'm going to show you what culture looks like without your can we make this larger? All right, yeah, we can. All right.
Before he goes into this, I want to make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear. So I appreciate if y'all hit the like button. Appreciate the 170 that's in here. Hit the like button. Share this on all your social media outlets. If you make a post on Instagram, please tag me in it. I will repost it. And make sure you hit the like button. For those who want to support the channel, support the channel. I appreciate that. Let's continue.
I'm going to show you what Aboriginal culture looks like, right? Because a lot of the things that we are divided on is because we don't have a scientific basis for uniting. So you got the Aboriginals, the ideology, all right, arguing. The Kemetic arguing with the Hebrews arguing with the Moors arguing with the Muslims arguing with the Christians, blah, 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 blah. And what we need is clarity on what type of culture can we unite on. All right? And I'm going to show you right now. All right? I'm going to go to our protocol manual. This is our protocol manual in honor. I'm going to show you what unity looks like when you don't have to have a book. The problem is everybody arguing over their book or their system inside of their book, right? Everybody's arguing over, oh, the Bible, oh, the Quran, oh, the Imheru was first, oh, just going on and on and on and on and on and on. Look, I need you to understand two things. Before there were books, there was nature. And if you knew how to read nature, you knew how to be successful. You knew what your culture was by a mandate from that which is permanent and absolute, as opposed to that which is democratic and opinion-based. The problem with democracy is it's all based on philosophy and opinion. So the most intricate things for the survival of a people, culturally, socially, economically, can be erased by a bunch of dumb citizens who are voting and a bunch of shrewd representatives who fool the people. In Aboriginal systems, nature rules, and nature is a product of its designer. So there is no atheism, which we have a high amount of Afrocentric atheism permeating. And the problem with that is it divorces you from your power. And your power is in connection to your source and the formulas of your source that are producing for you everything that you see that is here, that is permanent in character, nature, environment. And so this table, which I'm going to explain really, really easily, shows you, one, who is Aboriginal, two, what is their real ancestry, three, how they should self-organize themselves into social systems, four, what would be a breach of those social systems and environment, five, how to set up their body politic in conformity with nature. How to understand the psychology of the new beings being born from the wombs of the mothers every 9 months and their place in the society so that they can be successful. How to plan your births. All of those things. So let's take a look at this. This is the first book. This is before the Bible. This is before the Quran. This is before the Per Imheru from Egypt. This is before all of these other books. These books are only extractions to teach you principles of nature that are good for human beings so that they can be successful. But if you knew how to read a simple table, and there's a lot on this table, but I usually only use 4 elements and 4 conditions, and I can teach any subject that has ever been taught in time. Psychology, chemistry, biochemistry, physics, government. What do you want to learn? We can teach health, agriculture, nutrition, so-called astrology. All right, divination, religion, cosmology, military, economics. I can teach any question. It is the same question that I asked Jabari when I saw what I suppose was a boule technique or boule tactic, I should say, that I presume that he carried out. When I was just about to nab the issue of Franz Boas being the progenitor of Africana studies in his first phase, 4 phases of which Jabari's own professor laid out, he decided to interrupt me so I could not expose that information. And I thought to myself, is this gatekeeping? Which is a tactic of the Boule. They gatekeep for very influential, wealthy, etc. Europeans, right? So that we will not detect who they are, what they're up to, and how they are directly or indirectly influencing us. The Boule members do that, and I'm going to prove that before I get off of this line. This is where we divide at. I'm not going to name myself after a European. All right, just not going to happen. And I'm going to give you the source so you won't say that I made that up. All right, I'm going to give you the source. Don't worry. I'm going to give you the source. Don't worry. Dr. Clark named himself after this European. All right, Heinrich Johann Ibsen. All right, and Johann was a playwright. He was he directed theater. All right, and he was one of the founders of modernism in like theatrics and in theater. Again, he was Norwegian. He was a writer. And so, let me give you the source. All right. Barbara E. Adams wrote the book, John Henry Clark, Master Teacher. It was published by A&B Publishers. And in it is an interview where that information was collected on why his name went from John Henry Clark to John Henrik Clark. All right. He was born John Henry, Henry. All right. I think he was born in Alabama. All right. And so that's an Alabama name. Henrik is not an Alabama name. It is an Eastern European name. And that's what he decided. All right. All right. So you're not going to debunk that. So that sets a precedent for me to make this statement. because you're not getting away. I asked, now this is significant. This is not conspiracy theory talk. You know, although that's what happened to me last time. Oh, he's talking this conspiracy theory stuff. I'm telling the Aboriginals that the reason why you don't know you're Aboriginal is because of a conspiracy. It is my position that it's a conspiracy to hide. I mentioned Lewis and Clark at the beginning for a reason. Let me show you why. Let me show you why I mentioned that. Give me a moment. I'm going to get to it. All right. This is why I mentioned Lewis and Clark. All right. Take a look. This is Poverty Point, Louisiana. This is not Egypt. This is America. Right here. This was Louisiana during the time when Lewis and Clark went into the area. This was the president. When he came into Louisiana and they brought the military, they saw all of these mounds. They had military forts from the French in this area right here. They went on an expedition throughout all of this area to see who was here. And they used Negro interpreters. What language does a Negro speak? Ebonics? Were they using him to interpret Ebonics amongst Aboriginals? No. All right. So they sing the song from the halls of Montezuma. Here's the halls of Montezuma right here, to the shores of Tripoli. And this is a song sang by the United States military, and it's the oldest military song. And what is this celebrating? It's celebrating the conquering of Aboriginals. And so look at what Thomas Jefferson had to say. Check this out. Look at what he had to say. During his term, or this is said about him, during his term as president of the American Philosophical Society, Thomas Jefferson disclosed that earlier in his life, he assumed his burdens of public life. He had personally excavated a what? An ancient Indian mound in Virginia. Communications with United States consular representative in Tripoli and Algiers, in consequence against the war against the pirates of the Barbary Coast, drew to Jefferson's attention the possibility that some linguistic relationship might exist between the North African tongues and those of North America. Stop. When you do,
I'm gonna take a quick 30-second break. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share this on all your social media outlets. I'll be right back with you.
you find a North African genetic element. And I'm going to talk about what that is. He encountered the collection of vocabularies by the consuls of North Africa and also by American explorers such as Lewis and Clark, who were using Negro interpreters. See, this, let me break something down to you. It's uncomfortable to talk about histories that you've never heard before. It's uncomfortable to talk about history that you've never heard before, because now you have these dents in your brain, right? And the brain wants the information that you receive to be accurate, because to change it is uncomfortable. All right? It's uncomfortable to change it. All right? It's uncomfortable. All right? So look at what Thomas Jefferson is saying. He said, wait a minute, there's some connection between these languages. Then he had Lewis and Clark with a Negro doing interpretation. They were encountering who? So-called American Indian tribes not previously known. So what's the connection between these languages? I use Shua, and am proposing that certain deities pass from America to Africa. Certain mythos, certain traditions. I already proved in the last lecture the pyramid building started here and moved east into what we know of as Kemet. Now what I'm going to show you is linguistically, right? The natives have no languages. Oh, yes, they do. There is a book by Jules Courbet called The Berbers in America. And basically, he goes over the names of almost 50 Berber tribes. And what he finds out is they match Aboriginal American tribes. So the question is, which came first? I'm saying the American ones came first. And I'm going to give you a different migration pattern so you can understand how what got where. I used the pyramids last week. Go back and look at that lecture, please. But I'm also going to give you the possibility that there's some people who don't want us to know this information. So what I'm going to do is do both of these particular things. First, I'm going to show, hopefully I can show this without having to go too deep, because this is in a book that I have called The Aboriginal, the More of the African. And you can buy that book and get that information. But what I want to share is that when I showed the pyramid building moving from the Americas in Mexico to Africa and to Egypt, with that activity comes a lot of other things, linguistic and traces of who peopled Egypt. Afrocentrics hum this lie forevermore that the Nubians found from the south founded Egypt. That is a lie. Egypt was founded by Westerners coming from the northwest part of Africa. Why is that important? Because ultimately, what you're going to find out is that these populations migrated from here to do so. That is what you're going to find out. That is a completely different migration pattern, and we can time it. And so I'm going to help myself with doing that. And then I'm going to come back to this John Henry Clark issue and this Boule issue. So let me do that. Now, when it comes to these migration patterns, I already killed it with the DNA stuff. I actually will go back over that. I don't have a problem going back over that. Because I'm not going to let nobody take away from what we're about to prove here. What is the point that we're trying to prove here? Is that the socio-political economic dynamic of a body politic formed by Aboriginals rectify their situations is the best. In order to do so, we have to bust up a bunch of distorted reconstructions to give you better ones. All right, so let me help myself too. I'm going to prove now. I'm going over to Africa now. I got to go to Africa because I got to prove something that you don't know about African history. And I'm going to use the proper history. Give me a moment. Thomas Jefferson did know the secret. Thomas Jefferson did know the secret. He did know. All right. Let me prove my point. All right. So look, check this out. Dr. Clyde Winters tried to show you some of this, but y'all weren't listening. So I'm going to go a little bit further. He tried to show you this, but he did it in a different direction. So I'm going to show you this to help you out with this. And then we can go right into this other set of discussions that I had, and then we can get out of here. All right.
Hit that like button, you guys. Thumb up the video. Shout out to everybody in the chat, the 173.
Give me 1 second.
Like button.
So I can pull this file up. Gotta find it. All right, so check this out. A little while for this to open up. Give me a moment. It's a really big file. If you want this book, you can go to governmentreparations.org and get the book. It's a pretty long book. It's about 330 pages of pure fire. All right, let me go to the part that we need to be in. And this is basically a material. Hold on. All right, so I had actual in here. And I heard somebody say something about his feet, Exua's feet. I'll get to that. Because y'all trying to pull the same thing that the Eurasian Mexicans try to pull. It ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. So let me open this file. Am I there?
Hey, for the 177 that's in the chat, please drop some fire emojis in the chat. If y'all can hear me, we got 100 likes, 111 likes that I see. Can we get the likes up? You know what I'm saying? Can we get like 69 more likes? Can we get the likes up? I appreciate that.
They literally came from the Americas. But this first part will be easy. All right. So Talmeri, which is the name of Egypt, is their origins in Nubia. All right. We can look at genetics. We can look at a number of things. We can look at the utterances. This is utterance 242 from the pyramid text. What does it say? The flame is extinguished. No light is found in the house of him who possesses the bed. Is this somebody talking about their parents? Now, this glyph right here, I'll explain in a minute. because this is going to blow the whole cap off. You see the she in this, right? This is going to blow the whole cap off. All right, so let me go. Let's keep going. All right, so this is Amunatep, the third. All right. Ringo year 5, and what does he say? Why is my daughter staring at me? I'm gonna make her come on here and teach this live stream. All right, so what does he say? King of Upper and Lower Egypt, all right? Neb-Mad-Re, heir of Re, son of Ra, all right? King of the gods, and Nun, Lord of the cataract, given life. He's just talking about, his titles. Then he goes on to say, one came to tell his majesty, the fallen one of vile Cush has plotted rebellion in his heart. His majesty led on to victory. He completed it in his first campaign of victory. His majesty reached them like the wing stroke of a falcon, like Menthu in his transformation. Ikeni, the boaster in the midst of the army, did not know the lion that was before him. Neb-Mad-Re was the fierce-eyed lion whose claws seized vile Cush, who trampled down all his chiefs in their valleys, they being cast down in their blood, one on top of the other. Does that sound like somebody who's talking about their origins or their parents? Now, by the time you get to the 25th dynasty, and you did get some Cushites who came to push out some foreigners, they weren't the same lineage as the older New Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and Old Kingdom dynasty. How can you prove it? It's easy. Pretty easy to prove. All right. Other instances. All right. The Hyksos, Apophis, the Hyksos king, allied with the kings in Nubia to come against Egypt. All right. This is the source, Aspects of Egyptian Foreign Policy in the 18th Dynasty in Western Asia and Nubia by James Hoffmeyer. This was his dissertation. All right. We don't have to make anything up. This is Egyptians. These are the Nubians. Different phenotypes, different genotypes. One did not come from the other. In the sense of how you're trying to say it. Nope. Bound. All right. And so when we look at the origins, let's go back so I can break it down. I have to read this whole thing to you. All right. This is Bouvelus antiquus, found in Tassili in Algiers, rock carvings. This animal is now extinct, but was a type of cattle in the Sahara when it was a fertile grassland, which leads to the conclusion that the founders of Egypt, just like their records say, came from the West. Let's read it. On the origins of certain original and influential dynasties of Egypt. All right, I gotta make this bigger so you can see it. Oh, wrong one. My bad. All right. There are different types of Africans. It is the author's contention that the original name of the Egyptians, commonly called Kheninu, was Mary, after the sovereign, or Neb, whom we mistakenly call Pharaoh. The term Mary, with its variants that refer to the leader, means heir, in the sense of political and religious or spiritual heir. Heir to the system of Maya, and heir to the land as sovereign for the empire. Tameri was the name of what we call Egypt. Most current Afrocentric and some Egyptologists assert that the origin of the Egyptians was from the south. I assert that only particular dynasties assert this, and those that did were few in number and late. Specifically, the 25th dynasty asserts this claim, and a part of the Middle Kingdom dynasty 12. Yet the classical Old Kingdom, some Middle Kingdom and New Kingdom founders were clearly anti-Nubian in their stele, in the sense of having an origin as they claimed it in other places, not the South. Specifically, the claim of being foremost or the pure Westerners leads us to investigate the terms, because this is all throughout the pyramid text. All right, that's what they said. Kinti Amintu. Foremost of the Westerners. Foremost of the Westerners. Why did they keep saying? They didn't say foremost of the Southerners. They could have easily said that. Leads us to investigate the terms and origins of the Magi militaries and the mythical leaders like Asar. Did they come from the South? No, they did not originate. We're going to show you where. That term applied to both the dead and their origins, and Asar represented a dead king and kingdoms. Simply put, what was West? The answer is complex, yet it is evident that the West was large. There were vassals in the West that termed themselves Mary too. And we can identify this group today in Africa and in the Americas. We won't do the second part. That's too long and too extensive. All right. Yes, the author is claiming that the original Mary were Merops of classical Greek texts and Moors of classical history, an ethnic group that has morphed names yet kept similar Afro-Asiatic language, culture, and genetics via the ethnic groups this applies to. Historical verification has come. The origins of the famous stance of the pharaoh smiting his enemies, prehistoric rock carvings, evidence of the semi-nomadic prehistoric peoples that are still semi-nomadic today, and the shamanistic origins of Egyptian priesthoods clearly identifies the Kinti Amintui, foremost of pure Westerners among the mythical leaders of Egypt, as was no myth. Asar was from the West, indeed a dead king from past kingdoms, mostly lost to environmental circumstances, yet his green color connects him to the grasslands of the Sahara, an ancient grassland that is presently a desert. The Tassili and Jer rock carving findings prove that the Sahara was a fertile grassland for these semi-nomadic peoples. There are many other proofs. These peoples today are Africa's largest ethnic group called the Fula, and it was amongst the primal Fula, the oldest lineages, that we have a trace back to the Sahara populations that founded the early dynasties of Egypt, not Nubia. Yes, the author is asserting West and Central Africans founded Egypt, not southbound Africans. Linguistic diversity proves their homeland was as west as we can get in Senegal, Morocco, Mauritania, Mali. Now, when you go to the latest finds, the Ermud finds in Morocco of the oldest Homo sapiens in Africa are in West Africa. They're not in South Africa. They're in West Africa. I'm going to say that again. According to your evolutionary biologist, who you trust in, the oldest findings are from the area that I'm talking about. All right? Their Niger-Cordovian language proves that they moved west. Their shamanic culture and uses of livestock, some extinct as in this photo, is the most ancient and unparalleled. Their physical features amongst their clans match the old kingdom to new kingdom dynastic leaders. Phenotypes, genotypes, history, epigraphy, migrations, mythos. Literature left in first-hand resources of the pyramid text saying they're from the West. Case closed. Now, those populations are now called themselves, or are called the Amazigh. In the text, they were called the Amashi. No, I'm not making it up. Let me show you. All right. These are the utterances where they're saying they're the foremost of the Westerners. Pyramid text, etc., etc. All right. So this term right here, which I won't translate fully, but it's a foreign term, meaning the word was not a part of the Medu Neter when it was written in the dynasty that was written. It's older. And this is after mixing populations in Egypt. But you have this Amashi surviving.
I just want to run it back like a few seconds. I want to say peace and blessings to everyone that's in the chat. Peace and blessings. High vibe, Halito, all that good shit. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all support the channel by sharing this on all your social media outlets. And I appreciate y'all for stopping through. The 183, the 180 that's in here. Let's keep sharing this and spreading it. You know, YouTube is playing with my algorithm, and I'm gonna continue this fire build up.
I'm a she. I'm not making it up. Let me show you. All right. These are the utterances where they're saying they're the foremost of the Westerners, pyramid text, etc., etc. All right. So this term right here, which I won't translate fully, but it's a foreign term, meaning the word was not a part of the Medu Neter when it was written in the dynasty that was written. It's older. And this is after mixing populations in Egypt. But you have this Amashi surviving in the language as a foreign term, which we call Amazik today, mistakenly. But Amashi is directly connected to further west. But I will say this to conclude that Egyptians were not Southern Africans. They were not Nubians. That's important. They weren't. All right? They were North Africans and Northwest Africans. That's important for you to know. And I got a lot more daggers on that. So that's a deviation from my original points, but I had to make that particular point because now I want to make this point. And this point is, when John Henry Clark named himself after a European, why did he do that? And what does that signify? Let's go back. Now, Jabari said that, oh, you're Alpha. You're not a part of the Boule. I'm not saying that you are a part of the Boule. I'm not saying that we're going to belabor the conversation. I'm going to say that it's important for us to understand as a people where our opposition will come when we are in socio-political movements that affect economics, that affect the social fabric of the country. All right? Europeans are not going to do anything to try to stop the rise of Afrocentric thought because they created it. I'm going to say it again. Europeans are not going to try to stop anything that has to do with Africana studies because they created it. I'm telling the Aboriginals who know this knowledge, you are the threat.
And we know this knowledge over here, you guys. You guys, the 193 in the chat, y'all know this knowledge. Y'all are a threat. We are a threat. That's why we gotta keep doing what we doing. We gotta have each other back. We gotta put out the motherfucking bickering, arguing egos and the pissing contests, and let's start with this unity shit, man.
You are the socio-political threat. And I'm telling you this for your own safety. That's super, super, super important. And it's not threatening in the sense of, oh, you should have fear. No, meaning that when you're on the chessboard and you're playing chess, you need to understand you're playing chess. And so now your culture informs you of who you are dealing with. So when you deal with this, right? 4 and 4. What is this? This is the Ennead and the Ogdoad, which is a copy of the Pesegit. 4 male, 4 female, 1 creator. Why do you think they have the so-called Sphinx? What are they saying that they're patterning themselves after? Let's look at the founder. Henry Minton was the founder of Sigma Pi Phi Boule. He founded the order on May 15, 1904, in where? Philadelphia. He, a pharmacist, a dentist, and 2 physicians, Henry McKee, Minton, Dr. Algernon B. Jackson, Dr. Ed Warwick, met and announced to themselves and to others that a new world was coming. What new world? In 1904? What happened after that? Federal Reserve, IRS, FBI, CIA, all the intelligence agencies, all of these Africana studies started coming. What new world was coming? On Vanity Fair magazine's July 2004 issue, page 128, founder of the Boule, Henry Minton, comments, state, and openly admits he wanted his organization to be like or patterned after the Skull and Bones, the Brotherhood of Death, founded in 1832 in New Haven, Connecticut, and it was called the City of the Nine Squares. 8, 9. 9 squares.
0 to 9, right? Carpenter Square, right?
So,
all science.
What am I getting at? This is just questions that I have to ask. All right? Let me go further. Who started calling us African? Was it not Masons? It was Free African Lodge 459, which was to be the focal point of a struggle for civil rights that constitutes to this day. Early members of the Prince Hall Masonic fraternity were ministers who? Jupiter Hammond, Richard Allen, and Absalom Jones. I'm circling all the way back to the conversation with Jabari. Who are these people? I showed you who they were, and I'm going to go back to show you who they were. They founded the what? The Free African Society. And the leaders of the what? Black Church Movement. Free African Lodge 459 of Prince Hall Freemasonry formed a part of the funeral procession of President George Washington. Here's your source. So they started calling us this. So look, let's go take a look at these guys then. Let's go back to them. Remember, I gotta make this, oh man, I think my font is in white. Let's see if I can change that right here live. Because I had this on black slides. It's coming from another presentation. Let me change these back real quick. So you can read this writing. So we got Absalom Jones and Richard Allen right here. Let's put this, oh man. Let's change this back so we can see it. Don't try to hide it. Yep, that's them. Both Richard Allen, James Fortin, this is Absalom Jones. They met with Robert Finley, right? To try to take the free blacks back to Africa. That's what these Negroes did. Negro preachers, Masons. We have to watch out for these people. In the book, Aboriginal to More African, I go through the whole Freemasonic Constitution, and I ask you a question. See, this is how you play. This is how you play people, right? Let me show you. This is how you play people. It's like CNN. They have you thinking that they're against each other, but they're really together. All right? This is how they play. I'm going to show you just how they play. This is how they play. This is exactly how they play. All right, this is how they play. Can y'all see this? Oh, y'all can't see this. All right, good. On January 15, 1817, Fortin and other black leaders called a meeting at Bethel to discuss the American Colonization Society, which is a society designed to take free people of color out of the United States. Why did they want us out of here? So they could keep the other indigenous populations not free, not knowing who they were. You had Aboriginal populations of people buying slaves to manumit them so they could know who they were and have their freedom back. All right. All right. So the black leaders, Fortin, Allen, John Glaucus, all these, they came in to say, let's get out of here. Let's go back to Africa. As Fortin wrote to Paul Coffey on January 25th, there's not a soul that was in favor of going to Africa. Why? They knew the truth. Look at Paul Coffey. They just mentioned Paul Coffey. Look at him. This is Paul Coffey right here. Look at the brother. Afro out, dark, right? His father, Coffey, was Ashanti. His mother was Native American. Look how he looked. Look at his phenotype. All right? And so he was free. He was never enslaved. But look at him. Let's take a good look at him. Because y'all, look at him. It ain't no Eurasian phenotypes here. All right? His mother was Wampano. Let's make it bigger so you can see. Let's make it bigger. This is Paul Coffey right here. Huh? Look at the phenotype. Look at the hair. Don't get it twisted. That's all I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. So let's go to these white people they met with. Here it is right here. Look. This is Robert Finley right here. This is who Absalom Jones, Richard Allen, and John Fortin met with secretly to try to get black people to leave the place where they were born at. And none of them agreed. So you had Negro preachers who were Masons trying to tell us we were Africans in the sense of the use of that term. And then they met secretly with this white dude to get all the free blacks to leave. Think about that. Now, this is where y'all get mad at me, right? It's all right. Y'all gonna get mad at me. Is not Unc a Mason? Is Unc a Mason? All the people who come at me hard about this Aboriginal stuff, is he not a Mason? He'll tell you he's a Mason. Ex-US military. He'll tell you that. He's not gonna lie about that. I'm not saying that automatically. I'm just saying that there is a pattern. I rarely see the Armored Rock Squad come up against European evolutionists, archaeologists, and speak against some of the things that they do to falsify information or etc. Alpha, he said he was an alpha. That's a Greek. Why are you Greek and you're Afrocentric? I raised the question. It is a cultural question. Why are you in a white fraternal, even if you're in the black version? Why don't you have a Kemetic priesthood? Now, I'm going to show you the double talk, right? These are the 7 white men who formed the repatriation movement. The repatriation movement was not formed by our people. It was formed by white people and our people picked up on it. All right? This is George Washington's family. Bushrod. All right, where is the, I'm trying to find my textbook. All right, so Monroe, you got all of them. James Monroe.
Hey, give me just a second. I'm gonna come right back. My audio is acting up. Give me about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I'll be right back. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all got some more to rock out with. It's fire. Hey, we back, we back, we back, we back. Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
All right, James Monroe. You know who this is right here. This one's gonna blow your mind. This is the dude who Kaepernick was trying to come after. Francis Scott Key. They got you singing his song, Slave Owner. Slave Owner. Why is it that NFL players are going to get fined if they don't stand up for this guy? You see how this works? You see how this works? These were the people who got together, conspired to suppress your Aboriginal history. They got together to conspire. They formed the American Colonization Society to send you to a place that you had never been. It wasn't no black people meeting up. They took the names as Masons that were given to them. That's what they did. So let's go a little bit further. Was it not? How is it that you could be a Mason? Like, think about this. I'm going to show you this, and I want you to think about this. How is it that you can be a Mason and pushing Egypt, right? When it was Masons that separated Egypt from Africa. All right. Let me be clear and with detail, because I always give you the first-hand resources. So you're never going to accuse me of not being accurate. You are Afrocentric Mason, but it was Masons who tried to separate Egypt from Africa, and you're trying to bring Egypt back into Africa. What are you doing? But you don't want to hear nothing Aboriginal. You want to hear nothing close to you. Pyramids down the street from you, you don't want to hear it. You want to go to pyramids that's damn near 8,000 miles away. But one's right down the street from you, you ain't trying to hear that. You ain't got nothing to do with that. We could bring you everything. You ain't trying to hear it. All right, so look. Let's find where they did it at. Because they certainly separated. It was Anderson's Constitution where they started separating and saying Egypt is not in Africa, basically. Masons did that. Let's show you. I'm going to show you how they did it. Then they had the nerve. See the whole. All right, let me give you the context in which I'm speaking. All right, so you can see clearly. I just showed you, right? To start off.
Hey, we got 189 in here. Let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get these likes up. I'm gonna take a quick 30-second break so y'all can hit the likes and get the likes up. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all get that thing up. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Let's go. Hit that like button.
Clark, right? Showed you Lewis and Clark because I wanted you to see that Negroes were used as interpreters in Indian lands. What languages could a Negro interpret? That's the first question you should ask. Why is he taking them to interpret? Then I showed you that our people, right, were being taken from the West starting way back with Columbus in the thousands, back to Spain, Portugal, all these areas. And we can go further. We can go into Africa. And that's significant. All right? That is significant. It's super significant. All right? So we showed you that. Then we go and we show you that Egypt was peopled from the northwest by a people who we call the Fula. All right? Who we're saying these various types of Fula and Berbers are directly connected to Native American tribes linguistically. We gave you the book, Jules Cabot, The Berbers in America. It's in French, all right? You don't have a translation for that. I've never seen one. You have to have somebody who speaks French to break that down to you. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima was the first person I saw to source that particular book. That's how I found out about it when he wrote about it, and they came before Columbus. Okay, so now, connection is made, but what type of connection? By the time I get to Masonry, I'm dealing with people who are trying to suppress Aboriginal history and the last aspect in West Africa, Aboriginal history in West Africa, of a Renaissance. And that happened under the Moorish Empire. And so when you look at Columbus's journals, when you look at the Masons, what do they attack? What did John Henry Clark attack? As profound a historian as he was, they always try to attack West African, North African, East African, even Arabian Islam. They do that. They do that hard. They whitewash the history. They do that hard. That is a Masonic tactic. That's what I'm trying to get to. Masons know that they got their whole Renaissance from indigenous African Moors, indigenous African Muslims. But in the Anderson's Constitution, which I'm about to show you, this is what they say. So I'm trying to show you the war that is played. So look, this is Anderson's based on the Constitution. All right. As the Asiatic and African nations fell under the same calamity by the conquest of the Mohammedans, whose grand design is only to convert the world by fire and sword instead of cultivating the arts and sciences. Are you kidding me? This is in the Masonic Constitution. The Renaissance that was brought back to Africa. I showed you through the prime meridian science that it was the Moors, the Muslims, who brought back the prime meridian science. This is before the Arabs came in and Arabized. These are Aboriginals on the African continent who did that. I wrote a 437-page dissertation on this information. And so what I'm saying is, how can Masons, who are the products of Renaissance Europe, right, tell anybody that the people who created the Renaissance, who inspired the Renaissance, are not about cultivating the arts and sciences? Everybody knows the area in Spain that we're talking about was under the control of indigenous Africans for over 700 years, who cultivated arts and sciences. So what would make Masons want to suppress this? And why do Afrocentrics do the same thing that the Masons do? These are questions. How can you be Afrocentric and Greek culturally? Now we're talking about cultural phenomena. All right? You can't. That's like me saying I want to be Powhatan and Iroquois. Not going to be that way. Why? Iroquois or Mingwe are Eurasians. The Powhatan are Aboriginals of North America. If you don't know the history, you might confuse the two. I don't go to powwows and do Mingwe ceremonies. Powwow literally comes from us. It's power, which is the solstice and equinox celebration. You follow me? So this is about learning. This is about education. This is about a well-rounded education. So it's like the outside of a puzzle. If you don't have the outside, you don't know how to fill in the pieces. And so what I'm telling you is, as we move forward and we do well with the Aboriginal paradigm in medicine and natural sciences and economics, your greatest detractors will be people who look like you, who some of whom may be allied with the enemy, may be sleeping with the enemy. This is why if you go, well, I won't even say that. I'll just leave that as it is. My point is, check it out. Oh yeah, this is it right here. Look at what they say. Behavior in the presence of strangers, not Masons. It says, well, excuse me, diversion and distraction. Look at this now. Diversion and distraction. Pay attention to people when they debate you, because they're using Masonic tactics. Whenever you see folk skillfully divert conversations from its subject, especially conversations pertaining to our liberation and education and progress as a group, you may be dealing with a skilled Mason following his Masonic constitution. The charges of a Freemason, section 4, part 4. Behavior in the presence of strangers, not Masons. You shall be cautious in your words and character, that the most penetrating stranger shall not be able to discover or find out what is not proper to be intimated. And sometimes you shall divert a discourse and manage it prudently for the honor of the worshipful fraternity. Divert the discourse. Don't focus on what we say and what we prove. Act like we didn't prove anything. Act like we're not bringing any level of sanity. Say that the person can't read. Do all of that to divert the discourse. All right? That's your source, 1054. Keep going. Wait, we're not finished. All right, let's see. I wanted to show this whole concept of the leprosy agenda, but can't find where Albert Pike was doing this. I wanted to find it. All right. Can't find it. There we go. This is what they do. This is the sign of leprosy. George Washington. Look at Albert Pike says. Albert Pike on Negro Masons. This is the dude who wrote their degrees. Look at what he had to say. He wrote beyond the third degree. All right. He said, I am not inclined to meddle in the matter. I took my obligations to white men, not Negroes. When I have to accept Negroes as brothers or leave Masonry, I shall leave it. I am interested to keep the ancient and accepted rite uncontaminated in our country, at least by the leprosy of Negro associations. That's deep, bro. You had a white man calling black men. All right, I can't even keep going doing this, bro. Can't keep doing it. All right, so y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. So when they say Muslims didn't contribute anything to art and all of that, look, the Islamic book, a contribution to its art and history from the 7th to the 18th century. How much is this book? How much is it? $2,500. Ah. All right, so I'm not going to, belabor that point. This is just a historical point, and so you can make that point and we can keep it moving. All right. Let me close on a few points and then we can get out of here. I will take questions though. I will take questions. All right, identity theft is a crime. All right. This is Chichen Itza, again, North America, section we know as Mexico. All right, you see the afro. He dyed it. They used dye on the body for the paint. Use dye in the middle of their faces. You see it? You see the dye? These are the Aboriginals with the feathers. All right, you see? Representing Kukulkan. Look at the hair. The Denisovan and the Neanderthal and Denisovan hair. Look at them. Look at them. Look at their hair. You got to dye, but look at it. It's an afro. Phenotype equals genotype in biochemistry. We know who you are. All right. This is the hair of the people who we generally call Mexican, whatever. This is the hair of people we call Afro-Mexican, but they're actually Aboriginal inhabitants. And we can go all day with this science to prove our points. All right. But we got to be careful because we do have things that divide us, and they're not going to come up off of those things, brothers and sisters. You can forget it. They ain't trying to hear what y'all got to say. Aboriginals ain't got nothing to say to them. All right. All right. So let's take some questions. Is every Mason an agent, Brother Ali? That's not what I said. I didn't say every Mason is an agent. I said they have something in their protocols that allows for them to be a brotherhood. So they have a value system. And if that value system was founded by white males, it's going to be against you. Ha! Somebody said North Africa is Caucasian. All right. So this is why you need education. I gave a pre-Sahara rendition, pre-Sahara epigraphy, when the Sahara was grassland. There were no sub-Saharan Africans at the time. There were none because there was no desert. You see how people don't listen in class? But then they come on and they don't even ask the question, they just made a silly statement. All right. Somebody said, why didn't the messenger teach what you teach? The messenger taught you this, but now this is 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You got 1st grade. And he did teach what I taught. The first person to call us Aboriginals was the Most Honorable Lajman. Why don't we know that? Where do you think the 25,000 year calendar came from? Go find a civilization that has the 25,000 year calendar. It's not in Arabia.
You hear what he's saying? He's going in. I want to say shout out to the brother Brandon, whoever Brandon is, first name Brandon. Shout out to the Cash App donation. I really appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Shout out to the brother Brandon. Don't let Brandon be the only one to support the channel today. Don't leave him out there stranded. Y'all support the channel. I'm going to keep this thing going, y'all.
Yeah. Is the 25,000 year calendar Arabia? No. Where is it? It's right here in Mexico. The messenger sent a part of his family to Mexico. All right, so y'all got to grow up. Just because somebody, and then if we bring something new, we're supposed to bring something new. He told us to do that. The Africans are Aboriginals, the ones who are melanin dominant people. Muhammad converted Arabs to Moors. I don't know what that means. All right, y'all be wild in this chat. Is the white related to the rhesus, or is it a non-fact? Meaning related to the rhesus monkeys, or are they related to chimpanzees and Neanderthals? I am a brother from Oakland, but also a third generation Cherokee on the doll. Should I register with the tribe? That's up to you. That's up to you. Hit them upside the head again. Right, the earth is our homeland. Yeah, in fact, African, there's no, first of all, these terms are terms that they're misnomers. They're Aboriginals, and they have clans, then they have a nationality. Because, listen, they're way ahead of you. They're way ahead of you. No, Muhammad did not start in Mecca. The word Muhammad is not from that area. He did not start in Mecca. And Mecca is not mentioned in the Quran. I had a whole discussion with Garfield on that. And then later somebody tried to say, oh yeah, in Surah 48, we have Makata. Stop playing with me. We know where that term comes from. I showed you the glyphs in Jordan where that term comes from. And Becca is not Mecca. Our oldest lineal tribe is the Shi, XI, when you transliterate it in the Western Hemisphere.
Some people call it the key. XI sometimes make a key in the Nahuatl language, which is Mayan language. It makes a key.
Somebody said, is Islam indigenous to America? The only Islam that's indigenous to America is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teaching and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Besides that, everything else comes from the East. All right. We talked about Chief Tuscaloosa last week. What started your journey towards discovering your Aboriginal roots? Once I got the Supreme Wisdom lessons and I got the question, who is the original man? That was the initiation of my search.
Shout out to Beast Mode.
I wanted to know
super
why
chat donation.
Was that conversation had like that.
Shout out to Beast Mode for a super chat donation. We appreciate that. Shout out to that brother.
Gave us that material. And so that started my search. Tuscaloosa's tribe, okay, let me break something down to you because I see this is ignorance, all right? His tribe was listed as Ali Bamu, where you get the word Alabama from. That's what De Soto and others listed his tribe as. When you look at the early map, that's what they had it as, Ali Bamu. Tuscaloosa's tribe. But there's all kinds of tribes, Catawba, all right? Yamasee. You could go. It's
the return of the Chickamauga.
Ask yourself a question. Where are they now? Where are all these tribes? Just we can use South Carolina and Georgia for one instance. Where are all these tribes? They got colonized. They broke the tribes up. All of a sudden, you go from tribes to Negroes who were slaves. That shows you the Negroes were in the tribes.
Shout out to my brother Hawk School, Big Hawking in the chat, man. Shout out to my brother Big Hawk School for the cash out donation, man. Yeah, we lit. Let's get it.
That's simple. All these tribes did not disappear. Nobody died. You know, I've heard the conversation. Oh, they brought old world diseases to the new world, and that's what killed off the population. And I'm saying to myself, all right, the level of ignorance is so high. Didn't know old world diseases kill off anybody.
Shout out to my big brother Earl McPhee. Salute to Earl McPhee for the cash out donation. We got 214 in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this on all your social media outlets. I am about to drop the link in the next 5 minutes. Shout out to Big McPhee.
First of all, it shows you know nothing about the humoral immune system of Aboriginal people. Nothing. And so I'm gonna leave you in your ignorance on that one. Didn't know Aboriginals all get killed off. They all got their names changed and they got enslaved.
They got POW.
If you want to be a part of honor, go to governmentreparations.org and watch our introductory video.
We was POW'd and then paper genocide.
Moors is the Eastern term. It is not a term for Aboriginals here. The Aboriginals here did not call themselves Moors. Yes, melanin is your immune system. Please answer my question. How do you verifiably prove divine revelation from an angel to mankind? If you cannot do this, then why accept religious dogma? Whoever you asked that question, you didn't watch the first part of this lecture. Go back and watch it. And you're using terms that are spooky. Angels are people. Angels are people. Angels are human beings. If you want to speak from an Islamic sense, angels are human beings. There's no spooky angels, you know, woo. In Revelation, the various terms that you would use for that which is revealed, all right, depending on which one you're using, all right, I'll give it to you like this. In the Quran,
Fish with Camo Joe. Yeah, that's it, bro. Yep, that's it, big bro. Camo Joe.
Stories of the ancients. These are nothing but tales and stories from the ancients. But just ask yourself a question. If Muhammad was an Arab, which he was not, the Arabs are not an ancient people. And so whose stories are those? You have to go to the Aboriginals in that area to find out whose stories those are. Right? And they tell you that angels are men, and then that you confusing yourself, basically. Angels are men. Rijal, angels are men, they're men. Period. All right. Allah is not mother. I don't know what that means. There must be some Great Seal people in him. All right. What you have to say about the term Moorish American, as in Drew Ali's context? I have nothing to say about it. Moorish Americans are a religious group. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet, to his constituents that started a religious group. When he said nationality, he did not mean it in the sense that we use it. He was basically saying you are a citizen of the USA if you do not call yourself Negro, Black, and Colored. And you come back into the constitutional fold of government, and then you practice your religious ideology, which is your salvation. And he started a religious entity. We're not dealing with that. Prophet Muhammad was not Turkish. He was not a white Arab Muslim. Would y'all like me to blast some of these Arabs in here real quick? I wouldn't mind doing that for you real quick. Let me go ahead. We always get them in here, and they always come in trying to teach us about African history or Aboriginal aspects of African history. And what we're saying is we don't just study the Aboriginal history in the Americas, we study it everywhere. So let me show you. If here's $1,000 bet. My bet to you is I can prove that Muhammad was not an Arab. My request from you is to, after you get it proven to you, you never repeat it again. Don't repeat that bullshit again. Don't repeat it. I'm about to prove it to you right now. Just because. All right. Y'all know nothing about Muhammad. First of all, the name Hamid, all right, is Gutoro, is East African. All right? Hamid. All right? The H is Gutoro. Let me show you. The H is Gutoro. And what name do we have that's Kemet? Kemet. All right? Kemet means the soil, the land. That's what they named this two rich, fertile sides of the Nile, Kemet. All right? Gutoro. And so when we have that name, we have it in Ge'ez, we have it in Nabi.
Let me give a big shout out to Tanya Collins, aka Tanya Lloyd. Shout out to Tanya Lloyd in the chat. What up, sis? Appreciate the Cash App donation. And shout out to Joseph Davis. Joseph Davis for the $20 Cash App. Appreciate that. I really do. Let's continue this. We got the brother Hawk School on the panel. What up, Hawk School? I'll probably just end the video here in the next couple minutes. I'm gonna let Hawk School say a few things. We'll get right back into the audio, you guys.
Peace to the tribes, brother. I just want peace, love, man. You know what it is.
And then you already know we're gonna get right into it here in a second, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Drop some fire emojis, man. We got it cracking in here, man. Give yourself a pat on the back. We deep. We 220, 229 deep in here.
10. We have it in we have it in Metanata, that name. And so when you know that the Islamic Genesis was in the Thebaid in Egypt, not in Arabia, then you will recognize why they went and set the prime meridian back right, where they got all these texts from, and why they wrote on papyri. The first Qurans were written on papyri, right? And so let's go to it so I can kill this argument again. All right. The Arabs were the enemies of the constituent bodies of people who made up the original Islamic community. Enemies. I repeat, enemies. Not friends, enemies. All right, let me put that down. Nah, don't do that. All right, so let me help you with this real quick. And then you can stop saying this and then y'all can go ahead. Y'all can go ahead. All right, here we go. Surah 9, verse 97 through 99. Al-Arab. when most people translate this word right here, all right, this is it right here, alif, all right, lam, alif, ain, ra, alif, ba. This word right here is al-Arab. All right, al-Arab, ashadu, kufarum. All right, the Arabs are the strongest in disbelief and hypocrisy, and most disposed to not truly be aware of the laws of what Allah has revealed to His Rasul. All right, His Rasul is right here. Ra, right? Rasul, right? Rasulihi, all right? There you go, right here. And so his messenger is Muhammad. Muhammad was an enemy to these Arabs. Period. He was not an Arab. Do I need to say anything else? And what was the name of the groups that he was around? All right. Let's go do it. Let's go through it. I don't even know if I can make this smaller. Let's make it smaller so I can see this. And those around you of the hypocrite Arabs. Those around you of the hypocrite Arabs. All right. Oops, my bad. All right. There you go right here. Arabs. Munafiqun. Munafiqun. All right. You're hypocrites. So don't tell me nothing about no Arabs. All right. The early Umayyah. All right. Talked about these Arabs. And what did it say? This concerns the Rijaz of the Arabs. By Allah, if I find anyone who will read it, I will kill him and even rub his misinterpreted writings, his mushaf, with the side of pork. All right, so y'all don't even know who Muhammad was. You have no idea about the history of Islam whatsoever. All of your writings are for Abbasids who were interlopers who came in and tried to destroy the African history and the Aboriginal history of Islam. Cut it out. All right. So whoever that Arab was in the group, please don't come and try to teach us anything about history. You don't know. All right.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Tanya Lloyd for the super chat donation. Shout out to Tanya Lloyd for the super chat donation.
All right. So cut that out, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody asked, why is most ancient languages written from right to left? All right. Because they deal with the way that we thought, from right hemispheric brain activity to the left hemisphere.
It's all good, sis.
Creativity to reason. All right. There's no language called Arabic. Please stop lying. The term Arabian and Mubin deal with the vocalization and the clarity of the writing, the comprehension. It has nothing to do with people. A language being named after a group of people named called Arabs. There is no Arabic. Yo, I'm not saying, I don't know how y'all turned this into an Islamic conversation, because I didn't come here to talk about Islam, right? At all. But for the sake of history, yes, a man gave revelation to another man. How are you going to get revelation? spooky, sit down and twiddle your fingers like a man came and gave another man teachings. That's the only way you can learn something is from a man or a woman, or watching nature and meditating, or animals, or how are you going to learn? I never said the Aboriginal people here practice Islam. People ask me questions about Islam. And by the way, most of you don't know what the Aboriginal people here practice at all. So stop acting like you.
A lot of you really don't out here. If I was to ask that question, matter of fact, I'll propose that question.
People here practice Islam. People ask me questions about Islam. And by the way, most of you don't know what the Aboriginal people here practice at all. So stop.
So please tell me what y'all think we practice here in America.
Acting like you know what they practice. You don't know. If you knew what Aboriginal peoples here from the master cultures practice, we would see you. It's too powerful for you not to be seen. And so don't act like you know what it was. And you will be able to do things that would be evident that you know what they practice. Don't act like you know. And I'm not trying to be, prideful or anything, but a lot of times people come and they make, this is just see, I'm not saying this to put anybody down. I'm saying you are always going to be talking to somebody. You're going to be talking to your husband, you're going to be talking to your wife, you're going to be talking to your children, children going to be talking to parents, they're going to be talking to grandparents. There's an art and a science to communication. Don't act like you know something that you don't know. It is a sign of the most insecure type of psychology. There's a million things that I don't know. My knowledge is a drop of water in an ocean. But my drop, I know my drop. I'm not going to front and act like I know something that I don't know. When I know something, I'll share it with certainty. When I don't know something, I'm not going to act like I know something. Oh, our ancestors didn't practice Islam. Well, what did they practice? If I started naming out divination terms to you, would you know? Bolok, Oshlahun, Lahun, Bolon, Ho, Washak. All right? Osh. Like if I start things that you should know what they mean, you should know how they impart on psychology, you should know the power in them, you should know the day, you should know it from the cap. Don't act like you know and you don't know. Somebody said, no one knows what spiritual systems we practice in North America. Great. That's pure ignorance. The NOI science taught from Master Farah Muhammad to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from mouth to ear is the beginning phases of you beginning to understand Aboriginal science. That's why a big part of it was calendars. Because without understanding astronomy, you cannot understand cultural, spiritual practices. It's going to be fake. We have 1,000 years of fake gods, fake ancestors, misinterpretations, and people just believing in things. And Europeans were not the first to teach mystery gods. They weren't the first. Our people took advantage of their own people in teaching some of these systems. And it's only through you learning Aboriginal science that you're going to actually get out of that. The messenger, the first person to call us Aboriginals, started that particular process.
Shout out to Kiwanis. Shout out to Kiwanis, the Aborigine man. Shout out that brother for the cash out donation. I will be in the video right here. I will be ending the video right here. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Alrighty. Gather in. I would like for everybody to hit the like button, and I'm gonna come right back. The link is in the chat. Hit the link. We got the Big Brother Hawk School on the panel.
Swear we gon' die every day. They said Jesus gon' save us. Well, I know we die if we wait. I know we die if he can't. They tell us we black, but we ain't. Aboriginal, native, yeah, we gon' die every day. Cause we don't know where we came. We been here, lived here, open borders, got deported, fought for rights. Kidnapped, bitch slapped, blacked out, covered up, washed white. Drugged up, slugged up, beat bread, left for dead, fuck your life. It's all a plan, kill your man, take your land, slave your kids, rape your wife. Why y'all look so mad if all this shit I say is true? Why y'all look so mad if all this shit happened to you? White man quick to tell you, you was a slave, nothing before, but he himself only...
Shout out to Mr. Blackman. Shout out to Mr. Blackman. Shout out to Mr. Blackman for the cash out donation. I really appreciate all the support from you guys. I really do. So yeah, I dropped that link in the chat, man. That gave people enough time to Shalice to come on. Shout out to everybody. What's up, Big Brother Hall School? How you feeling, big bro? Root words. What you got going on out there, man? You teaching that pseudo?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Peace
Feeling
and
good,
bliss.
bro.
Hell yeah, I'm feeling actually pretty great. Supposed to be a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? Got up, brushed my teeth, washed my eyes, got me some coffee, dropped this heavy bill real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get
That's
my
right.
day started. You feel me?
Every day above ground is a beautiful day, brother.
Man, what you said? What you said?
Straight up.
But yeah, the brother Ali Muhammad was
But man, I
going
appreciate
in on
everything
quite
you're
a
doing, man.
man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. That shit, it wouldn't even
I
matter if
think
it wasn't because of y'all. You feel me?
I think I got the
I think you do got a delay. Yeah, I think you do got a delay. I don't know what the hell that shit is about. All right, peace. We got Root Word in the building. What up, Root?
What's going on, Big Guy Power? What's going on, Hawk School, man? It was a good build, man. I like how you just said, though, it's a good day
peace,
outside,
peace,
though, man.
peace.
It's
Man,
shining, man.
it's a beautiful day outside. You understand me?
You know, I'm about to show you jumping one of them kayaks again, but I'm having double tide this time.
So damn, Root Words, when we gonna have our when I'm gonna come out there and go kayaking, man? What's up?
I swear, all that shit gonna be placed this summer, bro. This
All right,
summer
let
here
me
on,
know, man. I'm pulling up. I'm
it might
pulling
come
up,
to you.
man.
Where that's
It
at?
might come to me somewhere. It might come to me somewhere because it will have wheels. It
Just let
will
me
have
know,
wheels.
man. I'll pull up anywhere.
Yes, sir. As long as everything on some humble shit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody get it cracking on some humble shit, man. We on some cracking shit. Straight from here.
I'm like the news people
That's
that
right.
be in the tourist zones. I go to the dangerous tourist zones around this motherfucker.
And you ain't gonna come. You come over here, it's gonna be peaceful. You ain't gonna be the only danger. Is gonna be something you bring. You know what I mean? You gonna be.
No, I don't know. Hell no. I don't bring danger. I bring peace, love, and
You
light. So
protected
shit, we gonna
around
have a
me.
good old
That's
time.
right.
You will be fully
That's right.
protected around me. It would nothing happen to you around me. And you on
Well,
my
I'm gonna bring peace and love. Somebody gonna bring the light. You see what I'm saying? And we gonna
side.
do it right.
I got the light. I got the light on me now.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So we lit. So yeah, just let us know, Root Words. We'll get you, we'll send some support your way. But we're gonna have to check your background, make sure your credentials right, man, because you know these kayaks is dangerous, bro.
Uninsured.
Oh yeah, that's just a little part of it though. I'm trying to get this little
What
basketball.
you mean a little part, nigga? Kayaks is dangerous, fool.
I can't say the way I'm doing it. It's double kayaks and it got an engine on it though, so I'm bringing one.
Damn, your kayaks got an engine on that motherfucker. You ain't got a pedal that motherfucker.
No, we don't gotta do that shit. You can jump in the water, you don't even gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all
Man,
good.
shout out to Root Words, y'all. This nigga got an electric motor on his goddamn kayak, man. He done took it up a notch,
Shout
y'all.
out the root word. Shout out to the root word.
No, that's two of them though for people that want to get on the river so they won't be scared. Just go ahead, get on there with two people. It'll be good.
Hell yeah. So if one
Like,
drown, one of y'all fall off, y'all go get help.
that'd be so
Yeah, that's
embarrassing.
right. So one of y'all can just deal through the trauma of the other one never returning. So it's a lighter side to everything.
But you know that's
Shoot.
something they steer us away from. Us just calling ourselves Indians, Moors, whatever we say. We had
Yes, sir.
small canoes for the creeks, and we had the bigger canoes, which we call ships and boats for the rivers and the seas. You know what I'm saying? We be forgetting
Right.
That's right.
how
That's
It's
nature
right.
ain't gonna
true.
give you
We
nuts in that water for real. Now you do something stupid in nature. Now stupid
I mean,
happens to just
that's why they created dams. You know what I mean? So they could stop the water flow of a lot of these creeks. Because a lot of people didn't need cars, they didn't need trains. They could just take their old canoe and they loyal
right.
goddamn Ralph and jump in that motherfucking creek. First creek take you down to the Buffalo Creek. The Buffalo Creek take you down to the Holston River. Goddamn, and you get to wherever you need to throughout the city.
man. That's real spill. I
That's
That's
why
just
they
say
called
exactly.
us
that's
they
real
called us
spill.
Creek Indians and shit like that based off of our location because that's how slow they was. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
they def. That's yep. You're right.
I thought the turbo was too loud.
Oh, Aaron's at the door.
Hey, my phone went in
Hello.
and out.
You got
So yeah, man. I can't wait, man. This was a beautiful bill. Uh, I just like to bring out the information and build off of these other topics, man. A lot of this shit I already touched on down there 2, 3 years ago. You heard them bring up a Kente Amintu from the pyramid text. I always reference that when dealing with migration from the Americas. Uh, because Kente Mintu is one of the volumes or maximums out of the pyramid text, and it gets into who built the pyramids, where these people were from, and all these other various things like that, which gives you the sources to prove that our people went somewhere, set up shop somewhere, and did it wasn't just about trading. It was about bringing what we had and what they didn't have. You see what I'm saying? And this inspired other places and civilizations around the world. So, yeah, man. Oh, just hey, this was a fire build. How y'all feeling out there? Anybody good? Shout out to Child Alpha in the chat, man. Shout out to the bro. Hey, Mr. L Bay. Hey, the link is in the chat, bro. You're more than welcome to come build and voice your opinion. I don't really read the chats or respond to the the chat. I do not respond to no chats unless that motherfucker is a super chat donation. But
Tribe
other than
time.
that, shit. Other than that, shit. Y'all can hit the link and come on. But
You ain't wrong.
uh
Hey, I think something they did to us too. My fault. Just take 30 seconds. I
now
think
go
they
ahead, go in reverse. Fuck 30 seconds. Go in. You on the panel.
I
Go
think
ahead.
they got us out of nature. You know what I'm saying? When I say got us out of nature, like they got
That's
us
right.
scared of being the river, or which you should be. You shouldn't just
Well,
jump in.
yeah, they definitely took you away from nature. They took away your understanding and your knowledge of nature. They got you studying books. They got you looking at math. They got you looking at English. They got you looking at motherfucking tadpoles and black eyed peas in school. They got your ass walking a single file line. I can show your ass. 10 different things that's sitting around me right now. I'll show your ass 10 different things that's around me right now, and you'll probably be able to name them. 9 times out of 10, you'll name them, get them all right. But if I show
They got,
your ass 10 different plants, your ass gonna have the long face.
right.
You
They
gonna have
got
the long face.
they got everybody glued to these phones. They got niggas on Instagram and all this shit. That's why everybody's so detached from nature, man.
Yeah,
Kids don't even want to go outside no more. We used to have to go outside till it get dark. We ain't had no
I mean,
choice. Get the fuck
I've
on.
never seen a day where I thought kids would never want to go outside. Like that's crazy.
Shit
They
crazy.
they put themselves on punishment. Like damn.
Hmm. It's a new world, ever
Yeah, it's
evolving.
crazy. But yeah, they took away the study of our surroundings, the earth, the plants, our natural life, which that is ecology.
That's right.
That's ecology. The study of your surroundings, the natural environment, and how it can benefit you.
Hey, I'm over here by the Mississippi River, man. I go down here by the river, man, and I just stand in awe of the greatness of the Most High and His creations, man. And when you take time to do that and look around you, man, and see all of this that exists without you, you know what I'm saying? With you or without you, all of these things around you that exist, there's no way you could be full of yourself as some of these clown ass, goofy ass niggas is online. But, that's neither here nor there. I love life. Love, love, love.
Man, life is lovely and loving, and you gotta love life. Goddamn shit. So, hey,
Try.
hey, some of you niggas don't think life is gravy. You see what I'm saying? Some of
Yeah,
you niggas,
that's they
some,
self. That's from the inside though, because what's within is gonna come out. If you squeeze an orange juice comes out of it because that's what's inside of it. So you put pressure on some of these niggas and they get to crying and shit because that's what's inside of them. Weakness. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Flat out, man. Flat out. Anger, whatever it is. Whenever you put pressure on something, you're gonna see what's in it. You know what I'm saying? And no
right.
matter how much pressure they put on me, I ain't got nothing but love for my people. And that's 1,000%, bro, because that's what's in me. And that's why the good Lord, the universe keep me blessed up. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't worried about shit, bro. I've overcome the world, my nigga. That's how I feel.
That's a fact. And some of these people don't understand that it's really more than it's more about what you're gonna do with things because everything is already in you. Can't nobody do what you
Period.
supposed to do. You
Period.
see what I'm
Same
saying? Some
thing,
of you
same
niggas,
thing the stars made of, we made of.
right? Some people say as above, so below, but I believe it's as below, so above. Because I believe we created it. We manifested everything that you see around us through thought
Facts.
process and imagination. You feel
Facts.
me? Our creativity is the most powerful thing that these people watch. That's why you getting watched right now. Cameras all in your neighborhood, police constantly patrolling.
Uh-huh. And we the
Go to
watchers that
you
watch the
go outside of
watchers.
that zone, everybody looking at you. They want to know what you're here for. Can they help you?
Facts. Facts.
They don't want your creativity to start being expressed. They don't want you to indulge into your imagination because this changes the
No,
and
because
alters the roles of the universe, of the world, man,
reality. We
of
can shape
reality.
reality with our thoughts, my nigga, with our thoughts and with our words. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say what's within is always gonna come out. Cause niggas talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas, all you all online depressed and shit, you need to sign out, nigga, and go get you some motherfucking money and go take care of somebody so you can feel good about yourself. Cause
Feel
that's what
real good
men do.
about your motherfucking self on my mama.
That's what men do. Straight up, niggas on here with this old gossipy ass, crying ass girl shit. You know what I mean? I ain't feeling it. That's why I don't be on here. But I come on here for the
Hey,
people that I do love. You know what I'm talking about?
and right, and that's why I'm saying though, like, and that's the only reason I even created YouTube because it's been like this. It's been gossipy. It's been bitches. It's been weirdos. It's been creeps.
Zesty.
You feel what I'm saying? Zesty aboriginals and shit.
Right,
You
right,
feel me?
right.
This nigga a zesty Choctaw. Like, nah, hell no. Like, nah, that's the only reason I came on here. Like, nah, we got to do this shit for the real. Because real niggas don't
Getting
even want to
bread.
gravitate toward this shit. That's
Facts.
why a lot of them channels they really weren't getting the views. Some of them was because they do that shit in little documentary form, little shit like that. But motherfuckers that was just coming up, man, that shit be weird. A lot of these niggas faded off.
Right.
Nobody want to see that. Nobody want to see that weird shit.
Man,
We
I,
trying to.
I want to do a build about some economics, man. I don't know nothing about the land patents. I'm gonna leave that to the sisters, and I'm gonna study up under them and see what I can learn and how I can add on. But I do know
Right.
about forming your business and about LLCs and about business credit, and that's what I've been spending my time on. So I would love to, you know what I'm saying? Me and you get together and we do some on some
Man,
tangible
Eddie.
economics to where niggas can get some money today. You know what I'm saying? Next week you can have you a
Today.
credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Next
Yeah,
week.
fuck all
Right.
that. Yeah, we ain't on
Right.
that other
Yeah, we
shit,
can do
man.
that ASAP. And that ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be a one time thing too. We'll make that a reiterated series for you guys. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah,
we
we
gonna get to
definitely
the
gonna do
back.
that.
We
Yeah,
gonna get
we'll
to the
come up with
back.
a nice little name for y'all.
Straight up.
And
Cause
that's
all
what you
that
can
because
take and that's what you can bring back to your community. See, fuck all that
flat
other
out.
shit. Cause you can get them on, you can talk history. That's common. That's always gonna be a conversation. But after that's done, my father like, what's up? Oh,
Yeah, we
what's
gotta
up
have some
is I
growth.
can show you how to get some money. I can show
Period.
you how to get some money.
Period. So these niggas stop crying. You won't be crying, nigga, if you was on your way to the dispensary like I am. I'm gonna just keep it gated.
Man, nigga, I ain't never cried to the dispensary. I cry when I see how
Not
good that
never.
motherfucking smoke is,
You
nigga.
ain't never
Sometimes
heard
I
no
cry
nigga cry
tears of
to
joy.
you know what I'm talking about? Flat out.
Tears of joy. Be like, God damn, this shit looks so motherfucking good. I know I'm about to have a good time tonight. God
On my
damn.
medication,
And
man. Shit
and
today.
just a little add a little privy to uh when we talking about these businesses, right? We
Yes,
got to
sir.
get out of our emotions, man.
Flat out.
We got to serve these other communities, bro. We got to stop serving our own
Flat
community and
out.
trying to make a profit off of our own
Flat.
community. You understand what I'm saying? We got to
That's right.
go. We got to go up and beyond. You understand me? We need to make them crackheads. We need to be serving them. You understand what I'm
Gang,
saying?
gang. Tribe.
Uh, and you know, we can build up from there. You know,
We the
make our own
trendsetters.
currency.
We the
You understand
trendsetters.
me? And if we deal in business between one another, we need to do
Yeah,
some type of wholesale.
I got the book Ancient Antiquities of America, and I got Archaeology Before Christopher Columbus. So I got a lot of books, man, and that deals with Father Crespi collection with the 300,000 artifacts found from that they call Sumerian or artifacts found in Ecuador. Yeah, it gets into all that
Right,
shit, man.
righteous,
All
righteous.
gold tablets and everything was all gold too, by the way.
Huh? Big facts.
Tribe.
Big facts.
That's because we been the rich niggas. I don't know what these niggas on, man. I don't know. I ain't really trying to sit here and argue back and forth, man. I'm trying to give my people something that's gonna make their condition better, bro. Today,
Yeah,
tomorrow, next
I ain't
month. You know what
arguing
I'm
with
saying?
no. I can't argue with nobody, big bro. Like it was something
Right.
recent that came out that almost made me want to get on their ass because they pushing a new narrative, cuz, and it's like they
Yes, sir.
ushering in Native American understanding, and so now this whole gay movement been going rampant. Nas X and get titties,
Hmm.
everything going
Right,
crazy.
right.
So now people in the Aboriginal community then try to usher in that it was ancient tranny tribes in America.
Oh my
Oh
God.
hell no,
Sign off. Tell that nigga
hell
throw his
no,
phone in the toilet, man.
no, no. That's no, hell no.
No, what the fuck?
Throw your phone in the toilet, man.
No, no, no,
No.
no, 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 no. Tasha She said it was ancient Trini tribes in America. No bullshit. I can't make it up.
Oh, that's out of
Ain't
pocket.
nobody got time for that.
No,
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, my mama.
no.
Ain't nobody got time for that, man.
That's an abomination, my
I think
nigga.
your homie was over there last night.
What'd you say, Root Words?
I think your homie was over there last night. That you'll be over here sometime. I think old dude was over there on her channel. What is his name? Real Rap.
Oh
That's a
Yeah,
wow.
good
talking
place
about
for
that.
him.
Yeah, they be over
Yeah,
there.
real rap probably like trannies though. So
I don't know,
I
man.
don't
nigga,
know,
a
man.
nigga, a nigga that's that emotional,
Whole other.
he'll try anything.
Peace. We not doing this Trinity tribe shit.
Peace to the
Hey,
tribe.
B. We
Salute,
not doing
salute,
this
God.
trendy tribe shit today, dog. We not talking about
Talk
that
to him,
today,
man. Talk to him,
man.
man.
We ain't doing that trendy tribe shit today. I don't know what the
We
fuck
ain't
Right,
going
about
left. We
whatever
ain't
her
gonna
name
let it go
is.
left, man. We ain't gonna
Huh?
end with a
right.
nigga crying, man. This ain't gonna be goddamn Aboriginal
But
and the
if you
show
get
crying, man.
scientific about it, I apologize. But if you get
Huh?
scientific about it, if you get scientific about it, let's put it on a scientific level so it ain't like we slandering nobody. If the
Okay.
people in the
Facts.
LBG, their community, if they formed their own
No,
tribe,
fuck them root. Fuck them root. Hey, root. We know
okay,
what the
you
fuck
got it
they
right
doing.
after that.
All
I'm
that
just trying to
gay
say on a
shit.
scientific level,
Hey, look, dog.
it
That
would
gay
not.
But
shit.
we ain't
They
Yeah.
even
doing that
talking about their
bullshit though.
community. We
They
talking about
bullshit.
the. We ain't even talking
We
about
talking
their
about our
community
community.
because
We
they
talking
could
about our
like.
community.
Yeah,
My
they
fault.
ain't even
My
irrelevant.
fault.
Like they
My fault.
egotistical to even think that we're mentioning them. You see what I'm saying?
But
We're talking
look
about
though, that
history.
that, that 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 gay shit, bro. That shit. They trying to, like we gotta think though. We gotta use our thinking caps, dog. They trying
We
to
ain't gotta think
usher that
about no
shit
gay
in,
shit.
huh?
We ain't
Hell
gotta
no,
think
I
about
ain't,
no
I
No,
ain't
gay
You ain't
using
got.
I
that
ain't
Hey,
using
that's
but
no
that's
gay
all some
thinking
Euro
cap.
Asian shit. Like I
But if
said,
yeah,
No,
the
I
but
think,
people of the
that's
hey,
what
look,
I'm just
conquest,
saying.
when
it
they
only
came
All
lasts
over
that
here,
one
shit
they
is
sent
all
generation.
that
all
shit is
men.
If you think
like what nigga
scientifically,
said.
it can
Nigga
only
said
last
the
one
other day.
generation because they won't regenerate.
That
That's why
nigga
it's
said,
false.
let's think about it. Hell no, I don't want to think about it.
we ain't got to
Right.
think about it. That's what I was
Nah,
trying to tell you earlier, man. We ain't got to be thinking what nobody else
My
want us to
fault.
think.
I'm
I
just
just
fucking
bring
with you,
that
nah,
shit
dog,
up.
Wood.
nah,
I
I
know
bring
what
it
you
up.
mean.
I bring that shit up.
We
nah.
don't
No,
want to
no,
think
no.
about it,
Look,
man.
y'all. That's what I'm saying, y'all. I'm saying like like a couple videos ago, Lyrica said it's the difference between, and she right. It's the difference between the gay shit and it's the difference between the hermaphrodite shit, like the science. Some shit. I don't know. Like this shit.
Yeah, that's something they
I don't,
can't help though. That's a deformity that motherfucker born with they can't help.
Yeah, but
No,
listen though, but
exactly.
no.
That's
listen
See,
though,
different
but
see,
than
we
listen
going
though, but
in
I'm
listen.
talking
sideways.
about
When
Look,
you read, when you get into the
gay
book
shit.
that they was referencing, it referenced hermaphrodite, but then it says cross-dressing men. See, that's the confusion. Cross-dressing is trans. I don't
Yeah,
give a
that's what I'm
fuck. Nobody
saying.
right,
say.
right, right.
A
The drag queen
hermaphrodite, a
too. Yeah.
hermaphrodite got the genetic deformity that they call a chromelia. It's where they have 100% of two different DNA strands, not 50 of one and 50 of the other, but 100 of one
Yeah.
and 100 of the other. So that's two different DNAs within them, ultimately having two different, maybe even two different sexes. Sometimes the variations is the same sex DNA or is a combination. So that's chromelia. They got a whole documentary on it. That's not what
Drop
we're
the sign.
talking about, though.
Drop the science on them. All.
Yo, that's some wild shit though. You
That
you
shit
drop the
thick right
sign,
there.
and that's the same thing Lyrica
I
said
did
too.
I did a whole documentary on that
I don't
shit.
Damn.
I don't know. That shit wild to me. That's some shit that I gotta get up on.
Go
But
go
yo,
think
that's
about it,
wild.
man.
That's some wild shit. That two spirit shit,
He
right?
said,
That's what that is, right?
Well, but the thing is, chromelia, that shit is very rare though. It's like ultimately rare, like extremely rare, and it wouldn't be tribes of them motherfuckers. You see what I'm
She
saying?
talking about
and
So
that's a
the
birth
three
defect,
niggas.
right, Ad?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so in the case that I seen, it was a lady who gave birth to children. When she took her
Okay,
DNA test, it did come back as her child, right?
okay,
What the
They
fuck?
okay.
kept testing, and they kept testing. It wasn't her child. Come to find out, they took tests from somewhere else, a thyroid and some her DNA. It came back as the child. They did more tests. They found out that she had two different DNA strands. Instead of the
Mm,
normal human being who gets 50 from one and 50 from another DNA strand, she ended up getting 100 of both. And both of these was male genes, was male DNA. That's why it kept
mm.
coming up negative for one and positive for the other. It's a whole shit about that shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to the
Moving
brother
on.
Truth on the panel. We got 111 Truth Searcher in the panel.
Salute, salute, salute.
Peace, peace, peace.
Man, top of the morning, y'all. What's good? What's good?
What's up, Truth? What's up, Truth? Salute.
What's the damn deal?
Shit, man. Just listening and shit. Y'all talk about.
Mm.
I'm gonna just be
No,
cool.
that ain't what
Y'all
we
got
talking
it.
about.
Y'all.
Nah.
That ain't what we talking about. No, that ain't what we talking about. No, it ain't. I don't
say it. Y'all
Man,
got it.
what the, what the fuck?
No,
Right.
don't come in here with that, man.
Hey, come on, True. You better than that, True. You better than
My
that.
bad, y'all. I just woke up, man. I'm gonna let it go.
Peace to the tribe. Peace to the tribe. Peace to the
You
tribe.
better than that.
Man,
We
salute
here
to the
talking about
God.
Mississippi training. You said,
Hey,
Nigga,
dog.
he said this nigga in the chat said Al Power, pull that story up. Can you
No.
can you show us? Nigga, no. I
Hey,
just
man, go think
nigga
about that one
it's a
alone, man. Go think about that by yourself.
nigga, you creepy motherfucker. Listen, go
Go
type
do your
in
own
trannies
research.
on YouTube, nigga. You will find us.
He gonna fuck up the
he
whole
said,
algorithm to his computer.
no, no, no.
That's a big negative.
That boy
Hey,
going down.
hey, I just,
You go
hey,
down
I
that
just want,
rabbit hole alone, Chico.
Mm-hmm.
hey, I just want to make a statement about, because man, we know, man, it's been incidents where motherfuckers been born hermaphrodites, but as far as that cross dressing shit, who's to say what was they definition of cross dressing back then? You feel me?
Wearing
Because
They
female
didn't have
clothes.
one.
They give a
They
they
didn't have
give a
one though,
very
Smooth.
acute definition. They said wearing female clothes.
oh,
Hey,
Who
but
said a
they
cute
did that though.
definition?
Look at the presidents. Look, them
right. 'Cause I
motherfuckers
was
got
just
on
finna say,
Nah,
stockings,
nigga.
wigs,
but yeah, I was just
goddamn
finna say when you look up all of the so-called royalty in Europe or whatever,
aprons and
them
shit.
motherfuckers had stockings,
That's that
wigs,
Masonic shit.
all that shit. You feel me?
Look
Yeah,
at look
that's
at
gay.
look at
But
look
white
at the
That's
people
right.
Irish
been on that freaky.
quilts and shit.
White people been on that freaky shit like that.
I
But
think
Yeah,
they
nigga, they don't.
mimicking another
that's
one.
that get down.
But yeah, Asians do too
Ain't that the
though.
Roman? Ain't that the Roman side, y'all?
I
Say
think they're
again.
mimicking the mothers or the matriarchs. That's my opinion of it. They mimicking like
But
an
why the
ancient
hell would they
matriarch.
want to mimic a man? No, I ain't going with that. See, y'all trying to
What you
justify.
thought that
Hell
was
no, that
different.
shit is pseudo. All that information that y'all heard about, pseudo as hell.
Y'all threw
And I'm
all
sure
types of
they
what
trying to
ifs in
take
that
another
motherfucker.
space like the Oval Office is dealing with the ovaries and everything. It's just my opinion of
Now
it. What
listen,
the
now
European had to
listen.
do to come over here.
How about we talk about the structure of the pyramids? You know, El Mirador, they found 60,000
Let's
structures
go.
in El Mirador. No bullshit.
Okay, okay.
60,000
Let's go.
structures. Out of those 60,000 structures, 10,000 of those are pyramids, identifiable pyramids.
The cities, man. We lived in cities, not in tents. For some of you niggas
Nigga,
in the
it's
chat,
more pyramids in Guatemala than the whole continent of Africa.
it's
Fact.
only like what 300-400 pyramids in the whole continent of Africa.
Man, we'll say 500. We'll give them
We'll
500.
give
Fuck
them
it. Just in
five.
case
We'll
they
give them
ain't found
500.
none. Right. They
We'll
still
give
don't
you
compete.
100.
Nigga,
They
it's
ain't saying
10,000 in Guatemala
right,
alone. Just Guatemala. That's a small ass place.
right. With a
They
whole
still
city.
finding shit in the jungle and shit like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
bro
Yeah,
was
that's
saying,
that lidar. That new scanner. They can scan the whole area from the
Yeah,
airplane. They
that
ain't been able to
LADAR.
go down there.
Well, yeah, they just now started doing excavations. And with LADAR, they found us
Mm-hmm.
something they called a super highway.
Yep. They
A
got
Mm,
highways and
super
everything.
highway.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
It said 2,000 euro super highway. It's 100 feet wide, raised
Mm.
50 feet high off the ground.
mm.
And
Wow.
it went for almost 270 miles.
Now that's the link we
Damn.
need right there.
I
Right.
got it. I'll give you the article, man. I'll pull it up right now. Hold on. Give me
Yeah,
2 seconds. I
that
think
what
I'm
that
good.
what we
Shit.
here. That what we here to feed the
Yeah,
people.
that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here for.
Facts.
nah, bro, them niggas came up here to talk about them trends, bro.
They what? Them niggas was gone, man. Somebody brought it back up.
Damn.
Damn, truth. He didn't say nothing about that. He said we got to get fit for training. He said we got to get fit for training. You see, y'all minds is on some other shit. Yeah.
No.
Hey, well, my peoples came from Mississippi, man. I don't know about them tribes and shit, man.
Flat out.
For real though.
Maybe that's
All
what
right,
caused the
let me
confusion.
pull this article up for y'all right quick. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's what they
I
needed to
give
see.
y'all a little article,
And that's some
2000
hocus
era.
pocus shit too, though. Come to think about it, because the same route, like the whole development of that particular situation, like females can't be gay, bro. Like it's not even a format.
Well, did you know they found one of the oldest languages called string languages in Peru?
Talk to them.
Yeah.
No
Hey,
bullshit.
that's
One
where
of the
that's
oldest
where they use
languages
the
in the world.
beads. They use the beads. They use the beads to communicate, right? Or
That's
is
the
it something else?
article
Or is
right
it
Yeah,
just
here.
in the strings
yeah,
or something?
yeah.
Y'all can check out the article. It's super dope. I'll give y'all the full article on another time. This is just the one I pulled. I'm on my phone, so I just
Oh
screenshot it
shit!
from the phone.
Hold on, bruh. Few ancient civilizations have left us evidence of the roads they built to maintain effective communication and transportation within the sphere of influence. Until recently, the model for effective and creation and maintenance was ancient Rome. However, the recent discovery of a system of superhighways that once connected pyramidal what the hell complexes over a distance. Gee,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that
That's
one.
right.
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
ain't never
right.
heard of that. I
Yeah,
can't
you
take
know
that
I
And you
one.
got
said it
shit
was 50
always in
feet
the
off
cup.
the
If I make
ground.
a
Whatever,
claim, if
Howard,
I make a
whatever, man. I
claim of
just said it. I
something,
just said it.
if I make a claim of something, I've got the source or I've already put out the source. Like it's like ain't
Tribe,
no
tribe.
not even no play.
Hey, Ab, you said it was 50 feet off the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
50
gonna look
feet.
in.
We can.
Damn, what the fuck they were traveling in?
You know, sound
Hello,
like them niggas that
everyone.
live in tents to me.
Hey,
Alito,
how you
salute,
doing,
salute.
Davina?
Kalito. Hi, yeah, I'm not going to be
Carlito.
up here too much long. I just want to give all my shout outs to everyone. Truth, Big App, Rue, all of y'all, Beast Mode. Like, I'm listening to the chat and the panel. I'm learning a lot. I'm just sitting back listening,
Peace to the
and
tribes. Love, love,
y'all doing
love.
a great job. It's all about, us coming together and trying to like get this knowledge out here. I'm trying to teach my kids. I got 4 boys, so
Right.
blessings to everyone.
Hey, sister, I
Thank you,
appreciate you
everyone.
tuning in, and we trying to do our best, and we trying to formulate a nice recipe for the youth to be able to what I mean, digest this information as well. So I appreciate you. Just bear with us. We working.
Right. All right. I'm back into the chat. I'm listening, but thank you. Peace to everyone.
I
Peace,
appreciate
love,
you
and
Nah,
coming
thank
honor.
you,
on, sis.
Truth. Thank you, Davina.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like in retrospect, like a lot of people didn't know that Antarctica used to be connected to America neither. So a lot of people
Right,
don't know that. That's
right.
already established in science. That's already, what I'm saying. So we just got to put out a lot of more information to prove our points, man. We got the information. We got the sources. Everything we do is out here. People always talk about, well, what about this and what about that? Man, I got so many sources make your motherfucking head spin, Negro.
Mm.
Tribe, tribe.
Nigga done forgot more shit than these niggas be learning. I be trying to tell niggas go back and watch some of my old videos or some of A1 old videos or Hawk School old videos and tell me if you heard something new because I might have forgot it.
Hey, one got everything.
I swear
Hey,
to God
one
he do.
got everything.
On my mama
Hey,
he
one got
do.
everything.
Niggas don't really even understand that he really do.
Yeah,
Hey,
Hey,
A1
one
be
got
going
so
over
so if
everything.
it
For
was
real, for
50
real.
feet off the ground though, right? What was they
salute that brother.
traveling in?
It's a hawk right here. I'm looking at this
Well,
hawk
actually,
right over the highway.
the
That hawk.
conversation gets into more things. Obviously, everything is still fresh. This is all newly excavated. When they first went in,
Right.
that's the first thing they started to see. They ain't even
Mm.
found the pyramids at this point when they found these superhighways. So all this shit was remotely new. So they haven't really found any traces of the wheel in that particular area. But they was
Oh.
probably traveling a horse or buggy or some sort. Yeah.
But you got to figure
I'm
50
sure. I'm
feet
sure
off
they
the
figured
ground. If
out
you
something. They
in
made a
horse and
highway.
buggy, right?
There ain't
Right.
nothing
If
in
you in horse and
that
buggy, you don't need to
encyclopedia.
put it 50 feet off the ground.
Say what, brother?
If it's horse and buggy, right? If
Indian
it's just
encyclopedia,
some
the God
simple
that lists
shit
every damn thing He
like that,
created in the universe.
right? It's got to be something that's worth bringing 50 feet up off the ground.
Got to be
You see what I'm
something in there
saying?
I mean,
about
yeah, yeah, yeah,
transportation
yeah. You
other than
absolutely. But
boats.
listen, you also in it. What'd you say, brother? High school? My bad. I could barely hear you, brother.
No, no, I was just saying it's probably something that I was asking if there was anything in that encyclopedia about means of travel that, because it was talking about all of the inventions we had. But,
Actually, I
that,
can't really
that
remember. I'm pretty
encyclopedia,
sure it does get into some type of travel or wagon. I think that we had.
yeah, I can't recall.
Maybe a chariot.
Yeah, maybe a chariot.
This
This
article right
article right
here,
here.
somebody got bad.
Shit, somebody got bad echo. Fuck. The fuck was that? Am I tripping? Thought I heard a fucking echo. God damn.
No, it was there. It just went away.
Yeah, because if I
Because a
Nah,
remember
but
chariot,
correctly,
a chariot,
because
it has wheels and it has wings.
I mean, damn, nigga, it got a super highway. Nigga, do you need
Right.
me? If I say I'm on
That
the
part.
highway now, what you gonna think I'm walking, nigga? The fuck,
Eh,
nigga? They on
right.
the highway, nigga. You
Right.
know what I mean? I don't know what else to say,
But
bro.
it sounds more like a landing base. It sounds more like, it don't sound like a freeway. It sounds more like
It's a
uh,
freeway.
uh,
It's intergalactic roads taking you to different pyramidal sections. So you might have El Mirador taking you to Corral. Corral take you
okay,
to Tikal. Tikal take you to the Lima. Lima take you to
okay,
Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza take you to Tenochtitlan. This is what's going on.
right. But
is
what I'm
that
saying is,
factual and
it
true
sounds
though?
like an airstrip. It sounds like
You know that nigga AP be making shit
50
up.
So
feet
what you
off
think
the
they
ground.
what you
50
think
feet
they
off the
built it
ground, bro.
for
That's not
alien
no.
spaceships to come?
What you say, hold on, boss?
You know AP becoming pseudo y'all, so he probably made all that up.
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah. You know, I make up some shit like that.
But just
Okay,
just just
man.
just think about that for a minute. 50 feet off the ground, bro. That's some height, bro.
It really is.
That's some height, bro.
It
That's not
really
like
is.
a freeway overpass, my nigga. That's like a
And
building.
listen, 50 feet is pretty high, and not only that, it was 100 feet wide. 100 feet wide is probably wider than most highways today.
Facts.
And when you look at
So what the
ancient
fuck was
aqueducts,
landing on that shit?
when you look at ancient
Or
aqueducts,
what was driving on that motherfucker? One of the
Right,
two. Something.
right.
when you look at ancient aqueducts, like in a lot of cities, that would lead
Hey, I
out
want to
to.
show y'all this right here. This rendition painting. Y'all might be able to see it's kind of small, but this rendition painting is from the 1600s, San Francisco Firework Expo. But it don't really look like fireworks to me though. Kind of look more like a pyro expo, like electricity or some shit. I just thought I'd throw it up.
1679.
I think people took their boats home or their canoes home. So if you came off them rivers and them creeks, that was at like lower level. And if you see in a lot of the cities in the 1700s in any country you go to, really, especially in Americas, which I famously stay to, but you know what I'm saying, you'll see them aqueducts that had boats on them. You
This
know what I'm saying?
gold sheet, this gold sheet was found in Ecuador. It's like a 14-foot by 6-foot gold sheet with all kind of carvings on it, engravings on it. Found in Ecuador. They say it's Mesopotamian artifacts or Sumerian artifacts.
That's a lot of that type of stuff is found all out there because they got the little Sumerian bowls and the little ones with the little eagle little guy that they be having, the little eagle guy with the wings on it. All out
What's
Hey,
there.
funny?
am
Yeah,
I
holding the
tripping?
bag.
Am I
What's
tripping, or
funny is
do your boy look
what's
like he got on a golden fez? What's going on right there?
That's the same
that's a
thing the
Mason.
priesthood.
That's some type of Freemason camp. I mean a Mormon. That's some type of Mormon hat, but he was a
Oh,
Mormon.
okay.
But a lot of these artifacts are dated roughly around the same time as Sumerian, the civilization itself, and if not, just maybe a few years afterwards. So how would it end up in America during these same time periods? It's crazy.
Hey, see, from some little things I done seen, like the boy 432 the drop was talking about the Cimmerians of South America. You feel me? I want to say they spell like Cimmarian, something like that. Cimmerians, not Sumerians. So they teach us in public school about the Sumerians. What was they from? What did they say them boys was from? Mesopotamia. You feel me? But not the Cimmerians of Mesoamerica. It's just a breakdown.
Or Mesoamerica, right?
Either way, I don't know.
But
Meso, same thing to me.
what we call Mexico, Hardline?
Yeah. All up around here, all
Okay,
through there.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of like crazy how they got Mesopotamia and then Mesoamerica. You know, like I say, man, they be stealing a lot of shit, and we got to remember, man, a lot of these places that's named, man, those are newly named
A
places. We
lot
used
of
to
this
say
shit,
that.
you right, man. A lot of this shit that we have is just older. Period. A lot of shit we do is just older. Period. Listen, when you read articles like this that I'm about to pull up, look what they say. I think it says 14,000-year old village older than Egyptian pyramids is unearthed in Canada and could reveal how civilization began in North America. See, shit like that changes the game, fool.
So that maple leaf in real life.
This would give me too. I know y'all seen because I don't know her name, so I just call her, the old white lady. She's a college professor or whatever. And I know y'all
Mm,
seen the one when she broke down the map, when she took the portions of the map and broke it down and was showing people how to actually read the map because it's basically her little field of study. And she was the one that was showing back in the day that the Americas is actually past Asia and all this stuff, even though we already know all this, but just the people that might be listening, it's past
mm,
Asia. So in a sense, if you're talking about something that's far east, or if Asia is really the far east, then the Americas is the farthest east you can get because they claim you got to come past the Bering Strait to here. You feel me? You got to go the direction they saying you going is further east. You get what I'm saying? So if
right.
the real Asia is far east, then we are the farthest east, and that's how you have old maps in the 1500s labeling North America as Asia, but South America it still say America down there. You feel me? And
Mm,
certain names up here in North America, the Chinese and other people have names for them for what they call these kingdoms and stuff like that. So, how Ron March was saying that the Olmecs really came from the north. The Asians teach that the Olmecs is called the Western Shi, and the Western Shi originally came from a place called Tangu. But you can find places called Tangu in Canada. You feel me?
mm,
So the Tangu Kingdom is in Canada, and if you look at the Western Shi Kingdom, what they say is in Asia. They have step pyramids just like in Mexico. So it's some things our people do need to look into. You feel me? I
facts.
don't like
Facts.
arguing with niggas, so when people keep saying this and this and that, I just let it be what it be. You just got to keep on carrying on to your studies, because there's other things I didn't found out to be true. So the
Facts.
way the the old
And
Meg either went out there and started that Western She or whatever, but look into it. It's a whole bunch into it or whatever, yeah. So
and when you
now,
deal with the Atlantic Ocean and that Pacific Ocean, before this invention shit, people wasn't traveling through that Atlantic Ocean like that, but the Pacific Ocean, you know what I'm saying? People could travel through that because it's like not that ruthless, and I think people was doing more connecting, as you say, through the east. It was more, you know what I'm saying? People was more uniting over there. That's why you see similarities in both spots in the Pacifics and shit. A lot of aggression.
Right.
I mean, also people when AP showed us about Zealandia and all that type of stuff. So now that Zealandia, just put it all together. That's closer out there in the Pacific, so that's going on what you're talking about right there. If it broke off, let's say it broke off how they teach about the story of Atlantis and all that other stuff. Those people can only go in the automatic directions clear, like straight from them. And that's how you will keep on finding some of the same shit. Because also, Australia isn't the original name for up out there. You can find maps of Antarctica called Terra Sancta Australis. You feel me? So the first Australia was down there a little bit past South America. And it's maps of that too for anybody that think I'm just saying something, you feel me, and want me to drop like the sources or whatever.
Nah, I seen the maps, bro. Just like all the old maps don't even got snow on Antarctica shit. It show a lot of lush trees, mountains, and peoples on the motherfucker and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. People carrying stuff, all types of little stuff. So and then
Yeah,
it's
I even
other
seen
ones
a
that
motherfucker that look
come
like I seen one with a motherfucker on there from 1584. That motherfucker look like what we call what they call that shit in the movie, a centaur and shit.
yeah, yeah. It's other maps that show Antarctica being called Terra Fuego, like a hotland. You feel me? So I don't know when it froze over or whatever the case
And
may
Negro
be.
de Terra.
Yeah. And keep it all the
So
way
let,
1,000. We really don't really even know if it's ice down there because we only seen Antarctica on TV, like all of us. We
Hardline,
only see the
let me ask you a question real quick, brother. Um,
yeah.
so I came across some research, right? Because I was looking up uh this Mount Sinai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I found that in Canada, right, there's a
Mm-hmm.
mountain called Mount Herb, right? It's Horeb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in that so-called religion, right? The situations that they said took place in on Mount Sinai, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
come to find out that Mount Herb is its original name was Mount Sinai. Do
Gotcha.
you have any indications about this or
Um, only thing I heard about a mountain called Sinai in the Americas because I got what's this little book called? Yeah, what's that book? 'Cause
Hey,
I was
what's that
just reading
story that
something
happened on
about it
Sinai?
somewhere.
What's that story that happened?
But basically the
say
little book
say
I got
again?
it talk about Mount Sinai, but I want to say it's in South America or something like that. And oh boy, it gives the spelling of it and all the little stuff and talks about it. But it's all
Okay.
types of stuff that's out here in the Americas that they shoot it off and try to tell you it's from somewhere else or
I think
whatever
I'm
the case
I
may
think
be.
I'm saying that
As
right.
a matter of
Her
fact,
Herb.
we did a bill called Egypt in America and Egypt artifacts found in Tennessee, and it
Right.
was like a conglomerate of 4,200 different artifacts, and they was looking
Yeah.
for. They looked at Tennessee State, the University of Tennessee, because that's who was researching these. A lot of these professors and archaeologists from these schools was out doing these, out on these particular bills and looking for research and artifacts, and they found all this shit, even the site. And they didn't even keep it at none of the universities. They donated it to the London Museum. All of the
Okay.
Egyptian artifacts ever found in Tennessee during the 1800s was all put in the London Museum.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
it's shit like that that happens all the time. You got to realize a lot of the early archaeologists here in America was Mormon. So to really find
Right.
out who
Right.
who has a better understanding of the early artifacts and explains the artifacts found in America, you have to get into Mormon history. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I
Mormon
got
archaeology history, and that's what we're dealing with.
I got
But
something I want to
AP,
add to that too. Ab,
they don't.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Go
Truth.
ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Truth.
Nah, I was just finna say, that's something that a lot of people don't be wanting to deal with. Like motherfuckers don't know that the oldest and most Paleo Hebrewic scribes and pottery and shit is found right here in the
Hmm.
Americas. Matter of fact, the
Fact.
very
Fact.
customs that these motherfucking so-called Israeli Jews motherfucking practice is based off a fucking tablet that they found in what on the East Coast and shit, and
Right.
Massachusetts and shit. You feel me? So
Absolutely.
people don't be
Absolutely.
wanting to deal with that shit, but if we gonna deal with archaeologists, anthropologists and artifacts and all that shit, then we gotta come to the realization that the Bible got a hook on our people for real, because it's something to that shit that really fucking resonate with us, because we have the oldest concepts of these writings, teachings, and artifacts
Absolutely.
right here in
Absolutely.
America. Because I'm gonna be real with you,
Absolutely.
that whole some goat herding kids throwing rocks and shit, and the nigga fell in the cave and found the Dead Sea Scroll. Man, that shit sound like bullshit to me.
Yeah,
But the
that's
fact that
bullshit.
they found the oldest 10 Commandments written in stone on a motherfucking mountain in Los Lunas, New Mexico, you feel
That
me?
part.
You can't miss that part because
That
it's
part.
in the fucking mountain. Ain't no place in that shit in the mountain is written on the goddamn mountain. They have to cut it out and shit. You feel me? So it's so many paleo Hebraic artifacts that have been found that the scientific field tried to just push it aside as pseudo, but they never looked into them. You feel me? And then it's a lot of them that they just can't deny shit. And all of them turn out to be older than any of that shit than what they find in the so-called Middle East and shit today. But people don't be want to
Now,
deal with that. That's why I keep that shit to myself and shit, because it got something to do
now,
with the Bible. You feel me?
now, the horseback off of all of that truth right there, right? Look, check this out. Like he said, a lot of the Egyptian artifacts was sent over there to the London Library or the England Library. Okay, so I was on the quest because I'm like, where is Moses' staff supposed to be, right? Right. If this staff was supposed to be all this, that, right? So boom, I tracked it down, right? It said it went to the England Library, right? And then they sold it to Istanbul, Turkey. And it's on display in Istanbul, Turkey. I don't know if it's a replica or whatever the case is, but that's where they say it's at. It's in Istanbul, Turkey.
Mm.
But it all came from the Americas.
See, it's all types of stuff. Now, I remember the book that I was trying to tell y'all about because I'm pretty sure y'all already heard of it. It's When Rocks Cry Out by Forrest Butler, right? And
Okay.
it's a chapter in there where he tells how he gave the information to the National Geographic, and they put it in segments, but they didn't give it to the public how he gave it to them, because he showed them where they could find these caves in Mexico that had the inscriptions in true images of Agamemnon, and showed them on the boats what they was doing, all the little stuff like that. But then they give it to us as these is the people from Troy fluking over some chick, and they was some white folks cross over there in the Mediterranean and all this stuff. But according to Horace Butler, Agamemnon and them had dreads, and they was some of them niggas on one of them Mayan murals when dude is standing there with a cheetah print or something like that. One of those dudes that he's talking to in some different clothes is supposedly Agamemnon, according to whatever sources that the man got in the book. So it'd be things that they find here, but they have code words for this stuff to shoot it to somewhere else. But when you break the code words down, it still be linking to something up over here.
Yeah, one of them might be, and I know one of them definitely is Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl. So,
Mhm.
in man representation. So that's who that is with the cheetah print.
Look, I'm glad you even said that right there, right? Because a few weeks ago, I took my kids to this little dinosaur and little thing, right, where you ride through in the cars and there be these dinosaurs out there and it tell you their name, tell you a little bit about them or whatever. So when you get almost to the end, it's this big old giant flying dinosaur or whatever, right? And they said, and this is Quetzalcoatl. And I was like, Quetzalcoatl? I ain't never heard of no dinosaur called Quetzalcoatl that fly outside the one that they said but y'all said this was like a myth or just a culture of the plume serpent. Now y'all saying it's an actual real flying big ass dinosaur called Quetzalcoatl. Then I started thinking, hold on, y'all said people wasn't alive at the same time as the dinosaurs, but the Bible did talk about people being alive at the same
Who?
time as dinosaurs.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
who is
Yeah.
Horus? Hey, brother Immortal. Who is Horus?
Horace Grant, you know that played for the Bulls with the championship, bro.
Boy, you bullshit.
Was he talking about Horace Butler? Now, if he talking about Horace Butler, that's who wrote the book. But now,
Nah, I
Horus.
was
nah,
just
Horus.
joking, man.
Is that supposed to be a replica of Nimrod?
never mind.
Bro, if
I
Nimrod
don't
come
know
on
where
this
that came
motherfucking
from.
panel and
Let me
speak,
look into the
nigga,
chat. Y'all
what
must be looking into
the
the chat.
man, y'all
Nigga,
niggas
you
better be
Because
can't,
I know the
smoking
whole
on
nigga.
Dead
that
Sea
shit.
story. I'm
I'm
I know the whole
biased
Dead
towards
Sea story
motherfucking
is
Nimrod,
Nimrod shit.
nigga. Everybody just ain't welcome to goddamn. Like, yeah, you want me to bring Satan on your motherfucking panel? Yeah, we got Satan on
Right.
this. No, everybody just can't come on here. They take them over there to the outside, man.
Yeah, he
Horus
said
and
Horace
Ra
Butler. He said Horace Butler, bro.
and
It's funny as
yeah,
hell.
Horus and Ra and
Horace Butler, yeah, hit me up, Immortal. You know my number, man. Hit me up, man. Tell Horace Butler, come on, man.
He say
them
Seti. So
comedic
you talking
guys,
about
right?
General Seti?
At 7:30, we will be having the devil on Our Power's channel. Come ask all your questions.
That's some bullshit right there.
He said Horace Grant from the Bulls.
Nah, they talking about some shit. Somebody said. But nah, nigga, it's all types of stuff that's about here. Like in the Bible, they said Moses and them when they was on their journey or whatever, they crossed the Arnon River and the Straits of Anion and all the stuff like that. But now,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at the Amazon River, the biggest river in the damn world is 3/4 of the Amazon, called the Marnon. So in the Bible, they called it Arnon, Arnon. We
Right.
call it Marnon, Marnon. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Absolutely.
certain
The Ama-
places.
Before we get out of here, man, because I got to go take care of a few things. But listen, the Amazon is really one of the mysteries because of all the plants and all the tree and the ecosystem that's there. And then, not on top of that, they found this fucking 3,000 year old dirt. You know what I mean? Compost soil that can colonize any soil. So any place that ain't never grew grass, you can take this dirt there, colonize the soil. It'll grow. It'll grow whatever.
AKA West Africa. Keep going.
Yeah, and the shit called this the particular shit that they found down there in Amazon is called Terra Prater, right? They call it Amazonian super mud, right? And it's they can't figure out how they did it. All they know is they did some type of sweat, some type of wet burning and compost mix. And
Yeah,
but the thing is the microbes that's inside of it is like no other. Scientists can't even figure it out. You see what I'm saying? So we had a very sophistication of science, especially ecology. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So, man, some dope shit down there. But shit, man, I
So
guess we
Don't
go
you
ahead.
think there's water sources down there too? Like some of
What'd
that
you say?
clear ass water?
I
They got
couldn't hear
some,
you,
yeah, they got
Robert.
some.
My bad.
Don't they got that clean ass water down there too? Like some big ass lakes of clean water, or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, it's like
yeah. The Amazon actually
what's
got
some type
nice,
of water down
clean
there?
water. It's weird because it's clean water. You got different rivers in different places. They actually got one of the hottest rivers in the world. Is boiling temperatures. I think it's like 200 something degrees Fahrenheit. Fish die once they come into that particular stream. They don't know why it's hot like that. And that place got a lot of significance with our ancestors as well. They found all type of
now
artifacts
my
down there.
my question is the in the wilderness, right? Okay, so if we think about wilderness, right? Could we make the comparison with the Amazon forest?
Well, wilderness, I think, is a difference between a forest. I think it's between the ecosystem that's going on.
But what I'm saying is like the correlation. Like if you was to make a correlate, like back then, wouldn't a wilderness look like an Amazon?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, to a certain extent, if we just talking like a bunch of trees and shit, yeah.
Right. Okay, okay, okay.
But then, but you know, the a wilderness is probably a lot more drier. It's probably less um particular trees, like you see, the rainforest
Right,
grows a lot of edible trees. And the ecosystem is wild because almost everything there is edible. So you got a lot of variety of species there inside rainforests, which you lack in a wilderness. You see what I'm saying? But just
right.
off of observation, just looking at it at its root, yeah, a fucking wilderness and a rainforest would definitely look similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
so you were
because
saying
if they couldn't eat the wild edibles, right, and they were being struck by serpents, right? To me, that says Amazon. I don't know if I'm making a good assessment, but
I mean, I don't
like,
know. I mean, I don't know what you're referring to. So
I think something
maybe
like a
okay,
rainforest is something that you don't like the sun don't hit the ground. It's like the trees are so dense, like the ground is so special. It does its own thing. Like
yeah,
that's
it does
when
its
you was getting
own
on the
thing. It
ground.
has its own, unlike a wilderness. You know what I'm saying? So
okay,
It's
okay.
one thing that Horace Butler put inside the book, and he said he put the scriptures from the Bible where it talks about God told his people that as long as they fought while the sun was out, whatever, right? As long as they
Mm-hmm.
believed in him and fought while the sun was out, no matter how many people they fought that they was gonna win, and they hype it up and they say all this stuff like that. And he said he told them the sun was supposed to be out for like 2, 3 days or something like that. And they had to
Okay.
fight while the sun was out because when the sun went up, they was gonna lose. That was it, like that.
yeah,
So
see,
they like,
most people don't got neighborhoods in a rainforest, but some of you guys live in neighborhoods that was once a wilderness. You see what I'm saying? So
Right,
see.
right.
But now the moral of the story is this though. Horace Butler showed with the sources that the only place in the world where someone could see the sun set still for 3 days straight, you feel me, at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and then go on is in South America, and they do it every year around the winter time or whatever. He got all the
Okay.
sources on there too. So it's just
oh
hella
yeah,
stuff that he
hey,
was basically,
hold on, boss. You need to shoot some of that shit to me so I can look into that, man. I definitely need some of them sources,
you know.
Big Brody.
So yeah, it was just basically hella stuff that he was using to prove that the ancient world was in America, and especially ancient Egypt of all was in America.
Oh
Right,
yeah, all day, all day.
right. Yeah, all these concepts is over here, man. So that shit dope. Yeah, make sure you shoot me some of them sources.
It's good. I got you.
Hey man, we about to get the hell out of here, man. I'm gonna let y'all say something before we get out of here, real quick, 10 seconds before we get out of here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this. You know what I mean? Support the channel. I appreciate everybody coming through. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna play a snippet of the new song that's coming soon from Trey Ali. It's a collab. I ain't telling y'all who all on the collab, but I'm gonna give y'all a snippet of it. All right, just a little snippet. I ain't giving y'all the whole thing. I'm giving y'all a little snippet. All right. So let's go, man. I'm gonna let y'all say something before we get out of here.
Yeah, y'all players be smooth, man. Everybody have a good day.
All the time, man. You already know what's up, big bro. Appreciate you coming through too.
Same
It's
here,
all
man. Hit
good.
the like, man. Thanks for having me up, bro. Hit the like. Hit the like. Salute that, Pa.
Peace,
All
peace,
right,
peace,
Rudy
peace.
Root. Hey, when you ready, man, we're gonna do that build on the Philadelphia. When you ready, man. When you ready, just let me know. I got
We
you. No
in there.
bullshit. I've been waiting on you to get serious, but we're gonna do it. So we
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Just like to say, peace, love, and light. Salute to the gods and goddesses. Stay vigilant, stay focused, stay dangerous.
Man, you couldn't have said it better myself. You understand? I couldn't have said it better myself. I appreciate you for coming on too, big bro. Beast Mode. I appreciate all your support too. By the way, real shit. I really do appreciate you. That
Peace, peace, man. Everybody, peace. Peace and love, everybody.
all right, Dawood. Shout out to the homie, man. I appreciate the brother Dawood. I ain't been going live on Instagram because these fuckers got me blocked. I've been meaning to tell y'all that, but these fuckers got me blocked on Instagram, so I ain't able to go live. But it's all good. We'll snap back in. I sent in my request, but All right, here we go, man, with the snippet from Trey Ali, man. Y'all ready? Drop some fire emojis in the chat. I ain't dropping it till I see some fire emojis in the chat, man. Turn up one time for the one time for the one time. Drop some fire emojis, man. Let's go. I don't see no fire emojis though, so I ain't dropping shit. Okay, I see a couple. I see one or two.
Nigga died at 65. Yeah. 65. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up. A lot of niggas died 1865. Took a Michael flag high, ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man home. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. We the guards of the gate. So when they say they fear God, now you know what they made. Shoot song, move song, shoot song, move song. Put us in the same room, it gon' go down. Hit a nigga with that boom, he gon' go down.
Hey, that bit gonna be fire. Oh my mama. I ain't gonna oh fire. Oh my soul, boy. Hey, wait till y'all hear this shit. Oh my soul. Make sure y'all tap in. Peace to all the American Aborigines out there, man. All the American Indians, Northeast, South, Central, and conjoining islands. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all stay aware. Make sure y'all stay vigilant. And most important, make sure y'all stay dangerous.